Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir, here with episode lucky number 7 of the Kaiju Caballeros podcast. Joining me today is, of course, my co-host, the co-host with the most. It is none other than David Gorizard Hernandez.
I guess we passed our probation period.
And last but certainly not least, it is the friendly neighborhood 8-armed Spidey.
And cosplay aficionado at fucking Kaiju Brooklyn.
Absolutely. Numero dos of the Kaiju Brooklyn cosplay contest.
Recently featured on the Muteki Sales live stream. So if you saw me there, hello, people. But yeah, we are going to be talking about something real fun. We slightly teased it in our little live stream, if y'all caught that. Talking about Kaiju video games.
Absolutely. I feel like nowadays, especially with the recent announcement of the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee remaster that is coming out in November, we felt like it was a really good time just to take a trip down memory lane and just talk about our favorite kaiju video game histories, whether that was the original Godzilla Pipeworks trilogy that led to this remaster, or any other licensed video games, or even things that are not licensed, because Lord knows there have been a ton of giant monster-themed video games out there across all sorts of consoles from various generations that we've all have played here and there, because we all love ourselves some video games. And when you put kaiju and video games together, you get yourself some really special memories. So, who would like to go first?
Let's see. Well, I'm trying to think. Because we'll start with Destroy All Monsters Melee, and then the structure will be, like you said, we're going to talk about the main Godzilla trilogy, and then we're going to kind of talk about some offshoots. So, I guess we'll start with how did you find out about Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee? How did you find out about that game coming out? Because I can tell you that I found out through a combination of I believe it was a print ad, I think in Game Informer, and then murmurings around some commercials. Because back then it was either you found out on the internet, because I wasn't on forums yet, I didn't really know where to look, and a lot of it was word of mouth. So I heard a little murmuring of there's something maybe something cool's coming out, and then I think it was just out of nowhere I saw the because it was advertised on the Classic Media box set, but I heard about it from the commercials that were airing at the time of the game being announced. And of course, being the little Cyber G fan I was, I needed to have it. I had to, because this would have been 2003, right? 2003.
I want to say 2002. That
late 2002. Yeah, because I got the game on Christmas, even though it came out a little before then. I got the game for Christmas, but that's how I found out about it. But so we'll get into when we attain the game too, when we kind of make another pass. But that's primarily how I found about it, and then just seeing little print ads here and there, kind of just hyping it up of just who's in it, what monsters are available, and then just from other kids I knew getting it before me, because I got it late, as I alluded to. So a lot of it was just anticipation of what the game plays like, what it feels like. So I was very, very excited because, of course, being a little Godzilla fan back then, as we've mentioned before, it was like the Wild West. It was you grabbed whatever you could find, honestly. So the fact that there was a dedicated Godzilla game, not him showing up in something Godzilla or something that looked like Godzilla in it. No, this was a dedicated Godzilla game. Because anything else before then was out of my reach, because it was either the Super Nintendo game, and that's it. So
right. Because I want to say, because I want to say in terms of where Godzilla games were out in the U.S., we had a Godzilla game on the NES and the Super Nintendo, and I think and the Game Boy. And I believe that was it. Everything else was Japan exclusive. Yeah, because we'll get into some of the handheld stuff too, but that was kind of, I want to say, just almost a, not a palate cleanser, what's the word? Like a holdover for me, when I was a kid. That's the most I had. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a similar case for me too. Back in the day, me and a friend from elementary school, Ryan, I would hang out at his house all the time. And I remember he was also into Godzilla and Gamera at the time. We'd borrow each other's VHS tapes, and I think he was the one that introduced me to Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, because he had a GameCube back in 2002. I didn't get a GameCube until 2004. And
okay, so it just kind of appeared in your consciousness, like there was not a time where you were thinking about it coming out. It just was like your friend was like, "Oh, it's here." Like,
yeah. I was like, "Wait, there's a Godzilla game, and you can play
it." That's also pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like, at that time I had seen like all the Showa movies. I've seen like majority of the Heisei era. So seeing this game here that featured practically every character I could think of as a child, from Megalon, Gigan, Anguirus, Rodan, just having like these dream matches, because like I could never imagine Megalon, Ghidorah, Rodan fighting in the same movie together, or like just having any dream matchup I could ever want with those like 11 playable characters. And it just like seeing, like just playing it all out for hours at a time with my friend over at his house. It was like a dream come true for me. It was like everything I could ever want as a child. Then I started noticing the commercials and the advertisements after finding out that it had already come out. And I didn't have a GameCube, but I did have a Game Boy Advance. So like the Godzilla game that I first owned and played was Godzilla Domination, which was like I
remember hearing about that. I played that later.
Yeah. It's another fighting game. It's like a isometric 3D-ish perspective, more similar in gameplay style to like Neo Geo's King of the Monsters, which I wouldn't play until much later in life. But still, it was really cool to play that game all the time. And eventually, I got Destroy All Monsters Melee. And I knew that back in the day, like it wasn't received. It was given like tentative, like positive to mixed to positive scores. I remember Toonami giving it like a 6 out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of that was like post like game coming out, but also it's like that's also when like the gaming landscape was far different.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially since this was like this was a post Super Smash Brothers Melee like world, like
because that came out earlier than that year.
Yeah, so like there were certainly certainly like fighting games coming out on the GameCube and other systems back in the day. We had Soul Calibur 2 out around that time, so there were definitely better fighters. Like that's the thing about, I feel like a lot of Godzilla fans, they hype the shit out of Melee and the rest of the Pipeworks trilogy. It's like they're great for what they are in terms of these like fun, fast-paced, simple pick-up-and-play monster brawlers. But in no way would I say they are ever like mechanically deep or like competitive in any way. So I would say like if you are looking for like a serious fighting game, there's definitely better options out there. This is less so Dragon Ball FighterZ, more so Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi, where like balance goes out the door.
I would if we're gonna equate anything to it, I would say it's more like Power Stone.
I don't know. Even Power Stone, I feel like it can be.
Power Stone. Have you played when's the last time you played Power Stone?
Okay, admittely, it's been a while, but I remember people.
Yeah, so Power Stone is a run around, throw shit at each other, and grab weapons. That's what this game is. There's like in Dragon Ball Z, you can have strategy. Godzilla, you don't really have to. But anyways, what's David think?
Yes.
Let's talk about David's side.
David, how did you discover?
We gotta cut you off. We gotta put a timer on you.
How did you discover Destroy All Monsters Melee, David?
I found out through those original classic media DVDs, because there was a 40-second trailer.
Yes, actually, I was looking up while you were doing that. So the Godzilla game dropped October 21st of 2002, and then the classic media box set. Because I'm looking at that because there was the original classic media DVD box set that I believe came out a little
around 2002, the same time.
Yeah, because it had that print in it. Because I got both these like later, so it had to have been on there. But I know exactly the trailer you're talking about.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it. And like Andres, I didn't have a GameCube, but my friend did, and I told him on a whim to get the game because he knew I was a Godzilla fan, and I kind of sort of got him into Godzilla briefly. And I didn't think he was going to get the game, so when he told me he got the game, I was like, "Let me come over."
You busted down that door.
Oh, I did. He got the GameCube version, and a couple years later, I ended up getting the Xbox version.
Oh, okay. So the Xbox version did come out in the US.
Yeah, it did.
All right.
I still have it. It's right there in my drawer.
The Xbox version of Melee, right?
Yeah, the Xbox version of Melee came out a little while after and had improved graphics, and technically it's a updated, like a slightly up-res version of the Japanese GameCube release because it has Kiryu in it.
Right. Wait, David, can you confirm? Yeah, David, can you confirm that Kiryu was in the Xbox version?
I confirm. I literally own it. I can go grab my copy if you like.
Okay.
He's not in the front cover. The front cover has a Heisei Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the back.
You flip it around and Kiryu is right there.
And
also, this is also back when we labeled Mechagodzilla, that version of Mechagodzilla, as Mechagodzilla 3.
I remember those days.
He was not called Kiryu until Godzilla Unleashed.
That's true.
We did not have those movies yet.
Right. That's very true. It wouldn't be until 2004 when we would get a hold of the rest of the Millennium movies on DVD, thanks to Sony. And around that time, we would also get Godzilla Save the Earth on PS2 and Xbox.
But wait, we're not there yet. I'm not done with the Destroy Monsters Melee.
Oh wait, okay.
I talked about leading up to the game. I didn't even talk about getting it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Because again, you guys kind of just happened into it. Mine was a lead up to it because, like I said, that game dropped in October.
Yeah.
And my parents were planning on getting me a GameCube anyways for Christmas that year. So my dad, seeing how like I needed this to medically be alive, gave me. He basically said, like, in a very dad fashion, he said, "Look, technically this is for Christmas, but I want to make sure it works so you can play it for a couple hours, okay?" So like he let me set it up. Play Godzilla. Like, I know what characters unlock, so I basically just played for a little while. Like, got it out of my system for a little bit. Because like when I found out that it was coming out, like I was like hounding for it. Like I needed it. Like it was medicine. Even though it was because a month felt like a fucking like because again, like through October into November was like torture for me as a kid because all my other friends were playing it already. And this is again a thing that you youngins out there will never understand. I remember distinctly giving my friend Patrick my memory card, my GameCube memory card.
Oh, I remember those.
Mm-hmm.
And basically being like, you have all the characters already unlocked. He's like, yeah, can you just copy your save? So when I open it Christmas morning, I have everybody. So
yeah, that's what I did with my friend too.
Yeah, so because again, I didn't have the time. I wasn't playing it yet. So come Christmas morn, popped open the game, all the characters were there. I was like, let's fucking go. And literally the only times that I had to not be there was one to go to Christmas mass and then go to like my family's place. I was like, I don't want to be here.
The GameCube, it's calling out to me.
No, for real. It's like I want to be smashing, throwing buildings, wrecking other kaiju. Like it was like a godsend for me. Like I put so many hours in the game. Sometimes not even like playing the games. Like I would just do random versus matches against other monsters. Like I would make my own scenarios. Like I like squeeze every ounce that game had to offer out of it. Like while I had it, just because I was like, again, much like back then, because like I was like, this may never happen again. This might be all I ever get. Like to the end of time. But that's really how it was back then. Because like we didn't know anything about marketing. They didn't announce sequels to games before they came out like they do now.
Oh, for sure.
Motherfuckers, I had to grind for my characters.
Look, man, you just weren't thinking like us.
See,
but I did subsequently like make my own file and stuff. But it's more like I just want on Christmas morning. I just wanted to like have everything there.
If it makes you feel any better, David, I when we get to Unleashed, I've got a similar story for you.
But yeah, so that's so that was Destroy Monsters Melee for me. Like I didn't have many people to play with and stuff. But outside of my best friend who you've met, but like
right,
the game was really just like this is for me. This was made for me, and
sure.
Wear the disc out, and then when I found out the Xbox version was like better, which leads to another thing too. But also that's how a lot of consoles in my life happen is because of Godzilla or associated media.
Mm-hmm.
It's because if I find out that something I love is on there, I will kind of go out, at least back then, I would go out of my way to try to find means in which to obtain it and play it.
Honestly, that might be the case with me and the upcoming remaster. I don't have a Switch 2 yet, but I might get it just for that.
Well, I mean, it's coming out for everything, so.
I'm getting it for the PS5.
Well, the thing is, I don't have a PS5 either.
Well, get a good game console then. I don't know.
Then again, I do have an Xbox One S or Series S.
But like, do you?
Wait. So can't we can't cross play?
We can. They announced that you can cross play.
Me and Andres played Gigabash.
We can make it possible.
Yes. I'm gonna clap those Mexican cheeks.
but also, I didn't have Xbox. It was also in the GameCube, so there was no live then. But yeah, that's my Destroy All Monsters history. That, like you said, the ads and the classic mini DVDs, as well as the free catalog you could order from those DVDs to get a little Godzilla like printout. Back when X Plus USA existed.
X Plus USA. What was that one?
No, like it was very, very short lived. You probably see the
the Xbox figures. Okay, I remember.
No, not Xbox. X Plus.
X Plus. Yeah. The toy line. Yeah.
Yeah, there was think 4 Polystone statues. One of Godzilla, just like Godzilla 1954. Godzilla. One of Biogoji holding like a piece of Biollante. Yeah. And then Anguirus and Godzilla fighting like a 2-piece where you kind of could connect the statues. Mm-hmm. And then they had, I think, one of Mothra. And then the rest of them were like Harryhausen, like statues and stuff.
Yeah.
But they had this whole like 6-inch like mini statue line for Godzilla that had everyone announced up until the most recent films of ones that were going to come out. But they only came out with GMK Godzilla, mm-hmm. Godzilla versus Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster version of Godzilla,
yeah,
like Mosugoji, that suit, and Astro Monster. So it was basically one was like a Mothra version, and then it was like they call it like Invasion of like Astro Monster. So it was like that kind of suit. So technically, there were 2 of the same costumes. They just the slightly retooling of them.
Yeah. Oh wait, I do remember this ad. Yeah.
They still have like. You can see, like, if you search X Plus USA or X Plus Godzilla figures, like 6 inches or something like that, you can find them pretty easily on eBay nowadays for okay prices. But like that was supposed to be like a whole line of figures that was supposed to come out.
Oh shit! Yeah. I found it on.
It was during one of the many recessions we've had. This is why they shut down. And also at the time, like. Mm-hmm. Like Godzilla was they were trying to remarket it because Godzilla 2000 had just come out, but then Toei was like, "We're done."
Yeah.
So it's like we didn't have Godzilla's new shit to put out, but also I think the company just went under.
Right. Yeah, I found the adverts, classic Godzilla statues available through X Plus USA Godzilla Origins collection. And they got like an old school logo and everything. I found it on Facebook. I'm sending it to you guys via Messenger now.
It had like the radioactive. It was like the radioactive symbol.
Yeah, that radioactive. So I have not seen that logo before nor since then. So this is a really interesting like time capsule I'm looking at right here.
Yeah, I think I want to say in the instruction manual for Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, I think it might not be in the Xbox manual, but it's in the GameCube manual where the 1-800 number to order a free catalog was.
Right. And
I remember having my dad order it, basically call it in for me. And essentially what it was, I wish I still had it, but essentially what it was, it's basically it was like a brochure style thing where you'd open up, it would show you everything they got, and then kind of like blanked out images of what was coming.
Yeah. Man, that's such a wild time where you had to call a company on the phone to order something. Because,
that was the tragedy of a lot of things I grew up with. Was certain stuff was just long gone out of print by the time I got it.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was reading this aside before we moved to Save the Earth, but when I was reading the Dark Horse Godzilla comics, those were way long gone by the time I got them, and I remember asking my dad if he could call or order back issues.
Yeah.
He was like, I would if this number was still valid, if it existed.
Yeah. You know what? A part of me is tempted to call this number right now.
It's probably super out of service, or you're just going to give your number to like a ransomware company, so I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, no. Or it's most likely going to be some like phone sex hotline or something.
Something stupid.
Yeah. Let's see. So moving on to Godzilla Save the Earth. I'm trying to remember.
This one I was more on the pulse of because by 2004 I was entering middle school because I was that was 5th grade for me. So by middle school I was more like in tune with the ongoing. That's also around the time when I first went to G Fest. So like I was in tune with like things going on. And then the Sony DVDs were starting to come out, and they had also an advertisement for Godzilla Save the Earth.
Interesting. So I was still out of the loop in terms of like the wider Godzilla fandom community thing. So I still did not know about G-Fest. I did not know about Toho Kingdom by 2004. And so a lot of what I was getting at...
Oh, wait, you didn't know about it until like post that? Because that's how I found out about Unleashed too, was like through the Toho Kingdom.
I would say it was between Save the Earth and Unleashed that I did find myself in the middle of the community. So like by the time Unleashed was about to come out, Unleashed, that was a game that I was fully invested in from when it was announced to when it eventually came out. But I'll get into that when we get to that. Now, for Unleashed, like I said, I wasn't a big internet user until like 2006, 2007. 2004, yeah, I wasn't using the internet a whole lot outside of like, obligated like school projects, which even then very few and far between. I wasn't aware that G-Fest wasn't a thing by 2004. Keep in mind, I didn't go to G-Fest until another like 10 years later.
Yeah, I was still a teenager when I went.
But 2004, I was at least looking up when the newest Godzilla stuff was coming out. And I noticed that a lot of stuff was coming out in 2004. There was a big push back then, similar to what we got for like what we got for the 50th anniversary. I would argue is very similar to the 60th anniversary, where we ended up getting a lot of Godzilla movies on DVD for the first time, or some we have gotten them like first time ever in some cases. We got Save the Earth, and I want to say there was some other stuff in 2004. We got like a lot of toys coming out. And I remember that it was the Xbox. No, it was the bonus features, the art gallery section that teased Godzilla Final Wars, which hadn't come out at that point. It wouldn't come out.
It was all in Japanese. Well, I actually... Yeah. Lucky little boy that I am actually was able to see it before we got it. I saw it at like an exclusive screening in Rochester.
Yeah.
So I was able to at least see it. But with that one, I got Godzilla Save the Earth late. I'll tell my story quick, because this one again was a lot later thing, is because around the same time the Xbox 360 was getting announced, and I initially was going to get that. But then I was on the fence because I was like, oh, I don't know if it's backwards compatibility, because I knew Godzilla Save the Earth was on the Xbox and basically anything subsequent from that. So I kind of, by the time the 360 came out, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get an Xbox. So then that's when I got Godzilla Save the Earth. So I was able to enjoy that like more freely because I was able to buy that with my own money back then.
Mm-hmm.
So like that one I was able to just like pick up and grab. And I found a picture of the catalog. But yeah, I was able to pick up and grab and start playing. That one was a little more open to me in terms of what I can do. So that one I definitely spent a lot more hours in, like wholeheartedly.
I see. For what I can remember, I think the first
that's the one that you literally posted the one I was gonna share.
Yeah. The first time I discovered Save the Earth's existence was probably, I want to say it was probably through, I think it was, I was subscribed to Game Informer at the time, and I do remember like finding adverts for it or like announcements of it.
Actually, you mentioned Game Informer. Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt, but that's how I found out that like in a specific issue that previewed, this is before it came out, that previewed Save the Earth. There was a full page like preview for it. It had Biollante in it.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. That was teased a bit.
No, like not teased. Like it was an image, a full render of Biollante in the article.
Okay. Outside of that, I think I remember also seeing it in. Do you remember when EB Games used to still be around? Like, this is before GameStop completely took over the branding of GameStop. I remember EB Games would give out catalogs for, like...
Yes, I had one. I had one for the GameCube from my local video store.
Yeah, so, like, I remember I got a catalog, an EB Games catalog, and there it featured Godzilla Save the Earth. And I think... that was probably my first time seeing it. I was like, whoa, wait, they're making another one? Because, like, I was lucky enough to have even gotten Destroy All Monsters Melee, so to think that we would get a second Godzilla
that's what
game.
blew my mind too, the fact that another one was coming out.
Yeah. It felt like it was a miracle just to get one, let alone a second one. But yeah, I remember getting it like that Christmas when it came out. But I did get the PS2 version, which I'll get into later. So, David, how?
Yeah, I have both, but like you.
Yeah, I got issues with the PS2 version. But David, how did you first discover Save the Earth?
Same thing with Melee. There was a trailer for it on the Sony DVDs.
Yep.
And I watched it over and over again.
Yes, I did that a lot too, because I think someone did a fun analysis breakdown, but there are some like cut stuff in that, I think.
Oh, that is
cool.
Not
a bunch, but like one or two rendering things that are a little different. Not crazy different, but a little bit.
Oh, it's always cool to see stuff like that.
Fun things. Actually, you can bring it up for us, we can describe it for the audience, but can you bring up the cover art for there's a full render version of the cover for Godzilla Save the Earth.
Okay.
And there's some fun, weird, like, art to point out going on with that cover.
Oh, yeah, because, like, funny enough, I was just talking to my friends Nick Huber and Creature Preacher about this exact cover and how the more you look into it, the less sense it starts to make.
Yeah, because, like, we'll get into it when we pull up for us, but, like, the fact that Ultraman Tiga is technically in it. Heisei Showa era King Ghidorah with Mecha King Ghidorah overlaid him.
Yes.
As far as I can tell, an original art piece of Space Godzilla, and then Rainbow Mothra.
Apparently that Godzilla might have been like traced over from a specific figure of some kind. Same with that Rainbow Mothra. That could have also been referenced.
The Rainbow Mothra definitely is, because like it only has front feet.
Mm-hmm. And its arms are positioned in a way that only the Bandai figure is positioned in.
Are you pulling it up on our screen for us to all look at?
Yeah. Let me just get it up. I just sent it to you guys on Facebook Messenger right now, but I'll present it right here.
We want to look at it as a unit.
Yeah.
The Japanese box art for both Destroy Monsters Melee and Save the Earth are far superior.
Yeah.
Though I will say I do zoom in on that bad boy. Okay. I will say I do like the American box art for Destroy All Monsters Melee, because Godzilla just throwing that mean fucking right hook.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Godzilla. Yeah. If you look, zoom in on Jet Jaguar.
Okay.
Because if you look right at his face, you can see Ultraman
Tiga. There's a weird gap.
Enhance.
There's a weird a gap between like his forehead and the rest of his face.
Yeah, and that's literally just Ultraman Tiga. Like that's
Tiga's head. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just kind of like put a Jet Jaguar skin, and then zoom in on Mecha King Ghidorah. That's an image from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster.
Oh yes,
that's Showa era Ghidorah with Mecha King. I think that's an original head they drew on Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah, that looks like hand drawn.
But look how fucking weirdo proportioned it is.
Yeah, and also
and then Mothra.
Oh yeah, Mothra. I mentioned before. Like that is clearly like, first off, it's Rainbow Mothra, who's not even in the game, and second, it's like that clearly looks like.
Nope, that looks like it might be from the movie, because I see it has his little claws. Yeah,
but I mean, like that's not the version that we got in the game. I'm saying like
no, which I wish there was cosmetics in those games.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows? Maybe they're doing it this one. Maybe.
I hope so, but like, so here's the thing. Eventually, we did get an interview with Simon Strange. Simon Strange, and by 2007, 2006, 2007, he would be sort of like the spokesperson for Pipeworks involving Godzilla. According to him, and I put that with big quotation marks because I'll get into him. He would claim that the reason why, a lot of people started asking questions because he was being interviewed very frequently at Toho Kingdom, and during this time people had a lot of questions about the decisions Pipeworks made with a lot of these with these first two games, and especially with the upcoming Godzilla Unleashed. And he gave a lot of answers saying oh, we can't do that because Toho said so, or Toho wanted it this way, or we tried to do so but we just didn't have the resources, which made sense at the time. So I'm pretty sure I want to say that, and this could be hearsay, that the reason why Mothra is here is because like, oh, they just used the wrong one, or they used one they thought looked cool for the box art. But like essentially I will get into this more, so especially when we get into Unleashed. The thing that I've come to learn about Simon Strange is that you cannot take anything he says at face value. And I've had a lot. Whenever I tell that to people, the first thing they do is talk to Simon Strange, to which he will say, "No, that's not true at all." I'm like, of course he says that's not true at all, but basically he's a bit of a snake oil salesman, and I'll say that out right now. And again, once we get into Unleash, and especially if we decide to touch on Colossal Kaiju Combat.
Well, I mean, we'll save that for the very end if we choose to, because we got a lot more to cover.
Yeah,
so
but basically what I'm trying to say is that he has provided...
I want to start rubbing people through...
Oh, no, when it comes to him, he personally, I got some personal beef with him, but...
Well, I mean... We'll see. We'll see what we want to air as dirty laundry. We don't want people coming after us.
You can't silence me, Frank.
I just don't want people coming after us.
Oh no. Well, honestly, Simon has lost all credibility at this point. So honestly, no one is going to come after us. I guarantee you that. But
that's my dad. No,
anyways. As much as I would like to say that I'm happy that Simon has given us some insight as to the behind-the-scenes dealings with these games, what ultimately, from what I understand, is that Simon had very little to do with the first two games, and come Unleashed, he had a lot more say in how that game turned out, and we all know how that game turned out. So, anyways...
Oh no.
Anyways, about this, anything about this box art that you want to point out, Frank?
Oh, well, yeah, zoom back in, yeah, because this is the full like rendering.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, but zoom in where?
A lot of it, like I said, a lot of it was just like interesting stuff, and as actually, what's fun fact that I believe, a lot of people running are staff members.
Yes, I remember he did mention something like that.
There's also a bunch of that in the gallery of that game too.
That is awesome.
And then actually, if you want to pull up the Japanese box art for both those games, they're real fun.
Sure. Let's see. And let's see, David, did you tell us how you first found out about this game?
Yes, and let me tell you, I got some beef with this game a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know if you guys had the same problem with the PS2 version, but
oh boy, like Xbox version I had, but yes, PS2 version is janky.
Yes.
Yeah. The Xbox. I remember that the Xbox version was so laggy. Like the response time was
on the Xbox version.
Yeah, on the Xbox version.
I remember I definitely had laggy issues on the PS2 version.
Yeah, I had lag issues on because the Xbox was like built better than the PS2. It could handle more. Maybe in selective scenes, maybe, but I don't remember.
No, in the gameplay, like sometimes you would jump or throw a punch, and it would just be slowish. And this is what always kept Save the Earth from being my favorite of the Atari trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I think actually, you know what? The only time I can think of that, maybe at least the instant I can think would happen is if maybe like a building was falling down and you were trying to do something, maybe a little slow down. But I don't remember it happening during the whole game.
Like it happened from time to time, not the whole game, but in vital moments where you're trying to do this or that, it sometimes gets a little bit laggy, and it annoyed the shit out of me because you didn't have those issues with Melee. If anything, Melee's control response and mechanics were way faster.
Thank you. I've always thought so, but then again, I played.
It definitely was snappier. It was definitely snappier, but I think some of the hit detection and the distance you would fly when you got hit was a little wonky in original Melee.
Like you would fly way too far.
You would do a standard uppercut, and you would like in Save the Earth you would kind of go a distance, not far. In Save the Earth, no matter what you would do, you would get sent across the stage. Like they were just in Melee.
Oh, in Melee.
Like,
but that's what made it fun.
I guess, but like sometimes it was annoying when like you were even when you were fighting a guy and you launched across the stage, you had to then run over to get him.
Oh, he'll come to you. He'll come.
But also again, I'm a slight fighting game snob, so
For me, it's like whenever I loved my time playing Save the Earth, but I could not help but notice how buggy it was.
The wake up game, the bugginess is one, and then the I remember the AI would always like you had unblockable wake up moves that I hate. And for those who don't know, a wake up move is when if your character is down, it's like you either do like a kick, a tail sweep, something to basically clear your little area before you got up. So I remember distinctly on any difficulty that wasn't easy, the AI character, anytime you knocked them, would always roll from the ground, roll over towards you and doing the unblockable get up move. And it would just and you could do it back, so it would become a game of you knock him down because it was an instant knockdown. You got hit like that, so then you could just do it back to them, and he could do it back to you. So it would just become a game of you both like standing up and sitting back down. It was like, this fucking sucks.
Right, and if you're trying to avoid them, and if you back yourself into a corner or you're surrounded by buildings, then you're fucked. Unless you could jump. I forget if you can jump like a tail swipe or any of those.
Yes, you could. Okay. That's usually the best way to block it, but it's still.
Yeah. But for me, like a lot of
mini games were.
Yeah, mini games were atrocious. I remember that.
Here's the Game Informer article where Biollante is featured prominently. I posted in our group chat.
Okay, thanks.
You can pull it up on stream.
Yeah. Let's see here. Looking
Y'all
it up right now.
The mini games?
No, fuck the mini games.
Here's the thing. I liked a few. The ones I liked was I like the weird ones where you had to fight like a tiny jet jaguar and a regular jet jaguar. I liked fighting Mecha King Ghidorah with the little mini clones. The submarine level, and the space level with Mogira. And then the other ones I could take, and then the UFO one defending the LA was okay. The basketball one, knocking the Kaiju bowling one, and then trying to hit the boats from a distance, those are the ones I just didn't like.
I hated anything that forced me to aim at very specific shit.
That's what it was. Like, those ones are the ones anyone where I had to do that, I didn't like.
Because, it's not like...
Andres, they were preparing you for life to aim for everything.
Yes, and just like life, it all turns to shit, David.
They just weren't designed... Again, those could easily have been fun if there was a dedicated lock-on for this. There kind of was, but, the aiming trajectory just wasn't there.
And also,
so
all these...
It worked.
All the they force you to, shoot at these, UFOs or whatever.
Also, zoom in on the lower one. With Godzilla holding the boat, that was what the game, that part of the game was supposed to be like. You were supposed to be able to wade in the water and attack them.
Okay, and there's no water, gameplay at all outside
there was no chest-level water games. And actually, even in this article... The person mentions Biollante being in it. He literally says, Biollante is huge in this game.
Yeah. And there is, a whole character model in the game's code that people have hacked and brought out.
But the fact that Biollante is featured and mentioned prominently in this article. Yeah, I literally, would read this article, because this article came out in early 2004.
Right.
They talk about Space Godzilla. They talk about Biollante. I think they list 20 playable monsters.
Right.
Which I think there's only 15?
Is this 10? This great screenshot right here with the asteroids? Is that supposed to be the Mogira?
Yeah, that's the Mogira level, which a lot of people never got to play because no one wants to play as him.
I never got the chance to play it. I never played this one. I did not know this existed.
It's actually kind of fun because you get to fight Space Godzilla in crystal form.
Wait, it's actually in the game?
It's in the so
did it get cut out?
You have to do next time you play a game, do a Mogira playthrough on hard mode. You'll play that level.
Okay. Oh, that's why I never played it. Yeah.
Same with fighting Ebirah as Godzilla underwater. Unless you play in hard mode, you don't get to see that level.
That I did. I did play the Ebirah underwater level. I did see that.
That one I like too. But again, it's a little janky.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool. And also, that I'll get into it later, but that's the closest you get to playing Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact.
Oh,
that game literally was an on-rails shooter.
Yes, I remember that. With the mini games, like I mentioned before, it's it felt like it was trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It was trying to force you this third person 3D fighting game and forcing it to play like a behind the back action game, third-person action game, and the problem is that the controls were not meant to be played at that camera angle with that type of reticle targeting system. It felt like the controls were not compatible with what the game wants you to do. So if it wants you to aim anywhere specifically, it's hard to do because in normal gameplay, you're automatically locked onto your target. So once you take that away, it becomes a mess. And from what I understand, they were using a thing called the Spigot engine to create this game. And from what I've been told over the years, the Spigot engine was never designed for 3D action games. I don't know what kind of games it was made for. Maybe it was like for puzzles and shit. But they were really, like, the team at Pipeworks was really pushing it in directions that it was never meant to be made for. So
yeah, and also the whole the amount of cutscenes that are supposed to be in the game too was also a bummer. Because like there's an opening cutscene, there's no in between cutscene, and then there's a final.
It's not even a cutscene. It's just you see the Vortex Queen fading away as you get your final score from completing story mode.
Well, no, if you beat it in super hard mode as Godzilla 2000, you get a brief cutscene of, again, it's in an area that doesn't exist in the game technically.
Yeah.
Where this final battle was supposed to take place on Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Where you fight Space Godzilla, and Space Godzilla is basically his spires crack and he gets sucked back into a black hole.
I see.
And Godzilla wins the day. But like there was supposed to be like a lot more weaving all of this together. Same with the G cells you collect throughout the game.
Right, because they never mentioned the story mode. Never, like if you're playing through like normal or easy mode, like I was most of the time, the G cells never come up again. I know like you're supposed to collect G cells.
Unfortunately, you don't get anything from that. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Also, there's a secret Orga boss fight you get to where you get to fight all 3 stages of Orga.
Okay, I remember that one vaguely.
Yeah, you fight the UFO, then you fight the Millennium, and then you fight him.
Right. I remember that one. Basically, any of the mini games that involve just straight up fighting people, like fighting enemies, I enjoyed that a way more. And the Ebro one was neat for what it was. But
the destruction mode was always so just because like I felt like sometimes like your moves were just not catered to just straight up smashing buildings.
True, yeah. Because again,
but then I found out that like certain characters had certain moves that were just completely busted. The 2 best characters for destruction mode is King Ghidorah, because if you just spam his wing gust attack when he's idling in the sky, it destroys buildings.
Okay.
And then Anguirus's sonic breath instantly destroys buildings. There's almost no like chip damage for that. You just blow them up. And also Rodan's breath. Rodan's breath also cuts through buildings like hot butter.
Gotcha.
But also Rodan's really tough to play as.
Yeah. I just remembered when it came to Save the Earth, I remember just outside of the fact that they included a lot more fan favorite characters and some more like slightly obscure pulls if you're not like a big Godzilla fan.
Mothra being the fucking worst. I like Mothra, but like in that game, fucking pisses me off because she has 2 phases. You can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like you could have her on the ropes, and then her transformation takes priority. You can't break her out of it. And
she gets her full entire health back in her adult form. But anyways, with this game, it's like as much as I want, like what David said, I kept encountering not just like the wonky gameplay when you're not smashing stuff in traditional one-on-one fights, but also, a lot of lags, especially with the audio. A lot of the audio was lagging behind. Even from the very start, it would be like, Godzilla 2000! And there's a roar. Godzilla's doing a roaring animation, but there's no roar. And then as soon as you hear, King Ghidorah, then you hear Godzilla's roar as Ghidorah's about to do his roar.
I never encountered that.
Oh no, I encountered that sound glitch all the fucking time. So yes, sound lagging, frame rate dips.
Weren't a lot of Xbox games like that?
The weird ones I encountered would be like either texture mapping being weird or like characters getting things stuck on them here and there. I remember with Mogiro's missiles, if you look closely at his hands, you can see the missiles like where their assets were in his drills were sideways, so it looked like he had 2 little like things stuck in his little like hands.
I want to say I found a similar glitch where like maybe Godzilla or some other monster, their tail would be like frozen in place throughout the entire gameplay. It would be like stuck at like a 90-degree angle from the body.
I know with when if you're charging your breath, if you like start looking around and stuff, you can sometimes make him stand upright instead of having him like lean forward like he usually does with his breath.
Okay.
Also, can we take a side tangent and talk about the designs of the kaiju, where they look like respective to their film appearances? Most of them are pretty faithful. I remember Godzilla is Godzilla 90s is the weirdest looking one of the bunch.
Yeah. I mean, like it
just because Godzilla, Godzilla is notorious for having the most longest, like until Shin Godzilla, had like the longest fucking tail I've ever seen in my life.
That is true. And I know like there's been like again, Simon Strange, he did an interview back in the day on Toho Kingdom, and now clips of his old interview are suddenly popping up on Twitter and Facebook these days. And he did brought up how they chose Godzilla 2000 to be the face of these games because he was the most marketable in terms of design.
And again, this circles back to what I've been saying about how, like, why, again, another reason why, again, the Kiryu saga and stuff bothered me so much as a kid, because again, in that short window of time, because as a kid, that 2 years feels like a lifetime. Yeah. So from Godzilla 2000 coming out to then Save the Earth, Melee to Save the Earth, this Godzilla was prominent for all three of those things.
Yes.
So again, for me, I was like, this is the Godzilla of now. Like, this is my Godzilla. This is the Godzilla of 2000, the year 2000.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I was so ready for that to be, and then when they changed it, I was like,
although for it's clear that this was more like taking some cues more from Godzilla versus Megaguirus than it is from Godzilla 2000, because Godzilla 2000.
But you know what I mean, like the Millennium design.
Yeah. It's definitely the Millennium design. It's a more slimmed down, stripped down version, but it's definitely Millennium Godzilla nonetheless.
Well, also because again the tail's way short. Also, this one, I mean, if you look at I posted in our group chat. If you look at Megaguirus' hands, you can see like the missiles like kind of stuck in there. That's how they were the whole time. Like the assets or however they did it, because when he would open his drill, the missiles would fire.
Oh, I see them. Yeah.
Basically, the asset for the missile was just like lopsided.
Right. That is so weird.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing I noticed when playing. I was like, huh, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
And also that they pivoted Mechagodzilla 2 for the longest time until Unleash as a villain, as an alien villain character.
Yes. Right, because that for us that was like the latest version of Mechagodzilla. But
as someone who knew better, I was like, that's not correct.
Yeah. Well, I guess it didn't bother me at the time because I had yet to even see Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, and I
knew just because from the toy line and stuff that Mechagodzilla was like a part of G-Force. Like I knew Mechagodzilla was a Godzilla weapon. At least that version of Godzilla was a Godzilla weapon. And then again, for me, evil Mechagodzilla is the Showa Mechagodzilla.
I see. Like, I remember reading on, like, the back of the Trendmaster's toy, it would say, like, built from the remains of Mecha King Ghidorah. And I was like, oh, when did that happen? I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, no, it was a very cool time for that. And like I said, again, and once again, after that game, it was like, well, who knows when we're going to get more? And then the Road to Unleash, I followed pretty religiously.
Me too. Oh, wait. Before we move on.
do we have any final thoughts on,
David,
on Save the Earth?
Yeah, David, any final thoughts on Save the Earth?
Just the lag. That prevents me from making this my favorite of the trilogy.
Actually, I forgot to ask for the first two, for Melee and this one, who are your guys' mains?
Ooh.
Because I can tell you mine, like, I'm a basic bitch, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to front. Godzilla 90s.
For me, I think it was
his rage move in the second one. The spiral energy breath is the best rage move. Is one of my favorites.
That's true.
He literally has a dedicated right hook that you can just do and punch people in the face with. And I don't know, his movement was just better. His sound work was just better. Like I don't know, he had a lot better things that I liked. Also, I like that you could sometimes have alternative victory animations with all characters.
Oh, true.
He would literally turn like away from the camera and kind of pose up like Goku.
Oh, speaking of animations, you want to know why Destroya never flew in either of his games?
Because he's too fat. He
glides a little bit, doesn't he?
Nope.
Ghidorah has like a little bit of a glide. It's in Megalon.
Simon Strange claimed online that Destroya never flew in his movie, even though in the movie clearly Destroya is grabbing Godzilla. That's how he killed Junior, by flying,
and then subsequently grabs Godzilla and throws him.
Like I said,
in a fan project game they make him fly, but also just seeing that big of a fucking guy fly around is yucky looking.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
it would have looked really bad.
Right. I'm sure that's probably why Simon or whoever decided to not make him fly, but he was adamant online that Destroya never flew in the movie. And
also,
then,
that would bring the total number of characters who can fly to like more than half almost.
Yeah. But speaking of flyers, for the first game, Rodan was my main, just because I love being a cheap bastard and just I liked his speed.
Rodan was fun. Rodan's fun in the first game.
Yeah, and I like spamming quick attacks, and also just spamming the grab and throw move.
What do you, David?
2,000, just out of blind loyalty.
Yeah.
Again, fair choice. In the first game, a lot of the clone characters are identical.
Yeah. I would say, like, maybe for the second game, it was like Mechagodzilla 2 and 3. I definitely enjoyed playing the most.
I would say, once I figured out that Jet Jaguar's spammiest move is in giant mode, he used this ground slam. It's the most busted move in the game.
I remember, like, when Jet Jaguar was tiny, he would do that move where he, like, swings his arms in a circular motion towards you.
Yeah, and Lisa Simpson.
Yeah. And he just dashes towards you, and people would, like, the AI would continuously spam that move over and over again.
Actually, that's the thing that bummed me out the most about two characters who I adore design-wise, but I hate that canonically they made them jokes gameplay-wise, which is Jet Jaguar and Megalon. I love Megalon as a fighting monster character because he's so cool, he has fun moves, but he gets knocked. He has such bad defense that he's basically like what is the word? He's easily like taken down by like most attacks. Like if you do an uppercut, it hits him farther than anyone else does. Most beam weapons will like annihilate half his health. But he has like a good move set. He has like a stun move. He has like uppers. He has like heavy. Like he has a good move set. But like anything you get hit with, you'll fucking get destroyed. Same with Jet Jaguar. He's slow as fuck. And he should be like the fastest character in the game because he's basically Ultraman.
Yeah.
And he has a very bad move set. It's such a bummer because again they treat him like he's a joke, which he kind of is. But it's like you had like literally a human man in a Godzilla game. You could have just given him like the best moves. Right.
I mean, hell, imagine treat him. Imagine giving him like moves like fucking Ryu from Street Fighter.
They literally could have. Like he could. Like it's just more like he just had awkward combos that just didn't make sense. Or again, they would just come out way too slow. Like he didn't have a good like dive kick, and like just a lot of things you'd think would be obvious for a character like that just weren't there.
It seemed like when it came to monsters that did not have like that Godzilla build with like 2 arms, 2 legs, and a tail, they really did not know what to do with them.
Yeah, like I said, he definitely needed another pass with like some better martial arts. It's more like he should have had more throw moves. Like Orga, Orga's a grappler.
Yeah, which is interesting
because he
never
does not
did that.
Throw fucking anybody in this film.
Yeah, no, it's like his arms are big and unwieldy. It's like he doesn't know what to do with them.
Ridiculous because he has a grab move where you can, before your opponent stands up, you can grab them. Only as Orga.
Do you remember the attack animation, the throw animation, where like he'll throw a monster to the ground and just elbow slams them?
Yeah, people's elbow.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of the stupidest move that Godzilla has, is where he throws them a distance and then does a running kick like Charlie Brown.
I remember that one. Yeah. One thing I will say, I like the addition of health and like health boosters, like elemental boosters, and like they have like pluses and negatives. Like some monsters are weaker to fire or lightning, and some of them get health boosts from fire and lightning.
Some of that was cool. So like when you fight certain characters, you couldn't just rely on throwing like your energy attack because it could just absorb it for health.
Yeah, it's like they got a bit of like a Pokemon type advantage thing going on there, and I dug that.
Like Ghidorah and Megalon that can't be hurt by lightning. They get health.
Yeah, I thought that was a neat addition. So that's my overall thoughts on Save the Earth, where it's like I greatly appreciate the scope of the project. I appreciate a lot of the ideas you were trying to do here.
Despite all the things that are missing, it's put together enough to be sold and played and enjoyed.
Yes, but I feel like I enjoyed Melee way more just because I feel like functionally it's a much more solid, better put together game than with what we got in Save the Earth. It was just too glitchy. It felt more like mechanically a downgrade from Save the Earth. From Melee.
Strange. Which is so strange because I feel a little bit of the opposite. Just in terms of fact of certain mechanics like hit detect, hit stun, like again more like fighting game tech.
Yeah,
there was some stuff there, and then I feel like some of the way you could gain and lose health was a little better balanced in Save the Earth. There was like some better balancing issues. Melee had that Save the Earth didn't have a problem with.
Absolutely,
and the stages I think were a little better in Save the Earth. Mm-hmm. Music was better than Melee.
I need to replay that. I remember the music in Melee. I cannot remember the music from Save the Earth
because it was not good, and the sound engine was bad.
But yeah, moving forward with Unleashed, I do want to say this was the game. This was the game where I was by this point I was involved on the internet. I wasn't involved in I was never a contributor to the Toho Kingdom forums, but I was someone who visited Toho Kingdom after I discovered it. It was 2007, so I was in high school at this point. I was involved. I was looking up articles on GameSpot, game trailers. What else? Wikipedia, and again, Toho Kingdom. And I remember Toho Kingdom was always on top of any single bit of news that involved Unleashed, and the fact that Simon Strange and other developers were giving interviews and just to hype up the Godzilla
I had a dedicated favorites tab on my computer for that.
Yeah. So this was the game. Well, this was the first time, honestly, I ever followed.
Actually, you can bring up the Toho Kingdom thing so we can look at it.
Sure. Yeah. See,
they have all that archived.
Yeah. Toho Kingdom. Let's see. Godzilla Unleashed.
That game is a game I have played basically out of spite. Because again, my thoughts on Godzilla Unleashed are I can sum up pretty quickly. They had characters I very much wanted to play as. Titanosaurus, Varan, Millennium Gigan. There was a few characters that I just kind of wanted to play as. Those I really just named them all.
Yeah.
And Biollante. Those were what I was looking forward to playing, and then some of the new characters and sound work. Overall, it could have had a great story. I think it's the fact that they were trying to do too much and not enough, and we'll get into the rest of it. But it's a game I played because it's Godzilla, but it's not a game I go back to because I want to play it, because it's unwieldy because you have to use motion controls.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I remember, so there was a review that Dylan and I recorded going over the entire Pipeworks trilogy, like what we are doing now. And I remember I so wished we had published that, but I don't know what happened. We never got around to releasing that video. But I remember with that game, it was the controls really that killed a lot of it for me. But this was definitely a game where it was very ambitious. It was more ambitious than either of the past two games, but it just could not really succeed at anything it was trying to do outside of, hey, it's a game where you can play as your favorite monsters. And for a lot of people, that's all they care about. But for me, it's
that's kind of all I cared about. But also, like I said, it
needs to be fun.
There was a lot of just frustrations in it, and then there was fucking 6 stages.
Right. I think 9, only 9 stages, but
they felt so, because they were already pre-destroyed.
Yeah.
So the idea of being a monster in them, it didn't matter anymore.
Or there was just nothing really to do in those stages, because most of it was already. They somehow
felt small too because of that.
Yeah,
and also there was just a lot. There was a lot there, and yet not enough there at all. Monster Island was weird because it was shaped like a horseshoe. So you'd be battling at either side of it, but it was just weird. Mm-hmm. And also the implementation of every single level had to be multiple monsters. It was never you one-on-one with a fight.
Yeah. Here's my biggest one. So they kept hyping up how you can change your alliances in the story mode, and how you can start out fighting with as an Earth defender, but then if you help out the aliens, you'll join the aliens, and the ending will change.
There is some of that there, but like you really have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Oh no! Here's the thing. I tried my darnest. I was playing as Mechagodzilla 2 or 3, I think, and I was trying to help out the aliens, and yet the game itself was cheating its way to make sure I stayed on the side of Earth, like the Earth Defenders and the Global Defense Force.
Did you not destroy? If you destroyed enough buildings,
I did.
You need crystals.
I did.
You eat the crystals all the time?
I did eat the crystals all the time, but then
did you become? How many times did you enter critical mass mode? Which I will say was part of that game.
I never liked critical mass mode. Well,
what?
No, fuck critical mass mode.
Pause the podcast.
No, we're duking it out here. David,
open your fucking
David.
mouth.
What was critical mass mode?
Okay.
Did you not play the game?
Did you play
It's
Unleashed?
been ages.
So critical mass mode, to correct Andres' wrong opinion, basically was because in lieu of doing rage attacks, which
are better.
I was a little. They are. Like I said, I'm not gonna say that they're not better.
We're talking about Unleashed.
Yes.
Still on Save the Earth.
What do you think we're talking about, David?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was severely disappointed with Unleashed that I didn't play it as much as I did with Melee and Save the Earth.
Same, but also because I didn't own a fucking Wii because I didn't want to go. I was already on like the Xbox and PS2 by then. But anyways, critical mass mode. So fundamentally, again, I like the idea. I love the story reasons behind it.
Yeah.
Where like you are absorbing so much criticism that you were literally becoming like the ultimate. Like again, it's basically everyone like how Godzilla became Burning Godzilla, which does an homage to that. If you have 90s Godzilla, basically, what if any of the monsters had the potential to become this like literally like ticking time bomb of destruction? That was super cool.
I like that in theory. Everything that you mentioned, I like it in theory. However, ultimately, I feel like it didn't do anything other than it made you bigger and slightly stronger, which to me
that's slightly. No, you were like that was like a match ender when you were critical mass.
Yeah. But gameplay wise, it was just boring for me compared to just using a super unique move that only your character can do. And
oddly enough, if you search high enough, there actually are hidden moves like Well, but they're busted, they're broken in the game, unfortunately. Because Kiryu, there is a dedicated move to use the absolute zero cannon.
Yeah. But that's a thing.
It fires directly down at the ground.
Yeah. And also, not everyone has a move like the absolute zero cannon. Like
I said, a few characters have like hidden like tech, but God help me if you know how to use it or find it.
Yeah.
I want to say, again, this might be just me remembering wrong, but I want to say either I read this somewhere or I saw it, but somewhere Gigan has his grappling hooks. Somewhere. Again, this might be just like playground talk, but I recall reading somewhere that again, this might have been like a cut in development, but he had it wasn't like a super long grab move, but it's sort of like Scorpion's like get over here move with Gigan.
Yeah.
Apparently there at one point, instead of him having the shotgun I-beams, that was going to be his ult. It was him grabbing you.
Well, here's the thing. So I remember in another interview with Simon Strange, he mentioned that, and this is the thing. So in the previous games, there were rage attacks, and you get a rage attack by grabbing an Atari symbol. And funny enough,
no, it was explosive symbol. You would get a gallery item if you grabbed an Atari symbol.
Right. You would grab an item that fell on the field, a specific item.
It was basically just like a big explosion texture that just kept exploding.
That's true. So
that's all it was.
Yeah. So you basically but here's the thing. It's really funny because it basically was the progenitor of the Smash Ball that would later appear in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So yeah,
but you couldn't have it knocked out of you. So
right. But essentially, it's the same fucking thing. It's an item that appears randomly, and everyone is scrambling to grab it. Whoever gets it can do their strongest move that's unique to that character. It's a final smash.
The NPCs were just knocking my ass out just to grab health.
Yeah. So, apparently, according to Simon Strange, he did not like the idea of working towards getting a special move. He is someone who believes that in a fighting game, he did not like the concept of super moves, ultra moves altogether. Capcom, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dragon Ball Z. The idea that you are working to build a super move meter or grabbing an item to allow a super move. He did not like the idea of just like, he could not understand the idea of working toward, because it's fun to work towards getting that chance to do the super move, because yes, you can only use it once, but because
super bomb.
It's the super bomb.
Super fucking Spider-Man. Sorry.
I feel like whenever we quote that episode of AVGN, we have to like go straight into it. But anyways,
but I was Spider-Man earlier today.
That's cool. It's fun to build towards that super move, and it's so sad.
It can turn the tide of a match too.
Yeah. And it's so fun, and it's so satisfying when there's a lot of build up to that move, and then for you to actually use it and it lands. Now, in Simon's case, he doesn't like all that. His idea is, I want everyone to do the thing that they like doing anytime they want. And so that's essentially what the crystals were for. He replaced all the rage moves, or rather, as the one of or if not the lead developer on this game, he wanted to have this system where anyone can just grab the crystals and unleash their what was it called?
They could Godzilla unleash.
Yeah, they can just do their unleashed thing and critical mass just anytime they want. Or what was it? Anguirus, like his rage move was spinning into a ball everywhere, and some
characters had the worst rage. Like Anguirus had one of the worst rage moves. Like it just was stupid.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, you can do it anytime you want now. It should be better now. No, you just made it worse because now it's less cool to do it because you can do it anytime you want. But anyways, I fundamentally disagree with his take on like video games that
I wanted my rage moves for sure, but I liked the idea of critical mass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just for me, going back to critical mass, you get bigger and you're stronger. To me, it's not as cool as Godzilla doing his spiral beam attack. But anyways, also...
you look like Burning Godzilla, so that's
you occasionally do certain moves, right? Or you occasionally destroy certain crystals, and each crystal apparently gives you a specific type of power-up, but I could never tell. They all look the same to me. The gameplay...
most of them, like, the only one of significance that does anything is the red one, because that gives you, like, a bonus beam breath that's an instant knockdown.
That's right. Yeah, I remember the red beam attack.
That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. Other than that, the crystals themselves, if anything, it just made the game laggier because every time you destroyed one, it's like a billion particle effects that the game has to render now.
Well, I mean, the best trick ever, though, is having a crystal power going towards another crystal and like, because when you broke your crystal power, when it was done, you would have a shockwave. Yeah. Is doing that right next to a normal crystal because it instantly broke and gave you all the critical mass energy.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I remember another awful thing about the crystals is that let's say you're trying to aim towards the crystals, but because there's like an auto lock thing, you can't lock onto a crystal because you're constantly being locked onto the enemies. Or sometimes you're trying to avoid the crystals, but because the enemies keep getting in the way or keep moving towards the crystals, you end up destroying crystals when you don't want to for the sake of the story.
Let's talk about the real meat and potatoes real quick.
The Wii the motion controls?
No, the poll to have original characters in it.
Oh, okay.
The point of Unleash. I'll be real, the only thing interesting about Unleash's lead up. Because once the game is out, I don't give a shit. We don't have to talk about that. Other than maybe the PS2 version, which is interesting, but not good.
Yeah. I would say...
Enough, I like the PS2 version better because I get to hold a normal controller.
Oh, right. I know people have hacked the Unleash and you can play it with traditional controls.
Yeah, but it's fucking hard as shit to do.
No, I totally get that. I think... David, yes. Did you pay attention to any of the Choose Your Monster poll during the development?
No.
You didn't? You had no investment in that?
I was actually paying attention more to like the movie side of things on Toho Kingdom and Tokyo Monsters.
Oh, fair enough.
So you think you're better than us?
At that time, I didn't have a Wii, so I had no real.
Well, I mean, I was in the same camp, so like I was more like on the fence to be like, this game looks like it might be good, but then finding out it was absolute dog water when it came out, I was like, I guess I'll get it when I get it.
I mean, I remember I was hyped as fuck for this game. And
I was excited. I was excited. Don't get me wrong.
I was too, and like I remember, like they would slowly reveal, they would unleash each new character reveal, and I would be more and more hyped. I'm like, oh shit, they got King Caesar in this game. Oh shit, they got Titanosaurus. Oh shit, they got Biollante again for reals this time.
But like I said, it was like micro things like that were like neat.
Yeah. And I remember Crystalite, they were like, oh, Crystalite, maybe this... Oh, that's the funniest thing. When they first announced this game, and they show off the first screenshots... I won't
lie, I do like Obsidian. I do think...
No, I like it too. I think Obsidious is very underrated. Why? Because I know it's a rock lava monster, and you've seen plenty of those, but never in the Godzilla franchise. And I felt like it was time for Godzilla to have a golem monster per se. And also
it was cool, just like you just fucking puking lava and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was like Simon Strange was saying like, oh, you can eat buildings.
Your fucking boyfriend.
You can eat. No, fuck Simon Strange. But I'm saying he used to eat. He said you can eat buildings and debris to regain your lava meter or whatever, and that never happened at all in the fucking game.
Well, of course not. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, that's why I bring him up, because it's like everything he says turns out to be bullshit. Like I was about to say,
it's bullshit.
He's a bullshit artist. Bullshit. Whoa, I say.
Whoa.
What was it? When the game was first revealed and there were these crystals, the first thing he said was, set the record straight, Space Godzilla is not the villain of the story.
Ta-da, he is.
He is. Bullshit artist, I say.
Also, I always found it so interesting that Space Godzilla has pivoted as a big bad when he was such a pushover in his debut film. That
is very true.
He had an idea in mind, and then he was like, I've done it to one town.
That's where it starts, and that's where it ends.
And he's like, Tommy, you can't do this.
That's what Godzilla's telling him.
He's like, Tommy,
step out of it.
Step out of it, Tommy.
Tyrannosaurus.
And then him and Megaera beat the shit out of him and explodes.
Yes.
Like his end goal is like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a place where Godzilla will never find me, Japan. And you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna trap his son first.
Yeah.
Was it said fucking thing from that joke they bring up in Dead Zone in the DBZ Abridged? Like, wait, you tried to you punched my wife and killed my kid and didn't think I'd come after you? Do you know who I am? And the same thing's like, wait, but if you killed him and didn't kill me, that means you're not good at what you're doing. Because he had an opportune moment to murder Godzilla right there on the spot instead of nope, I'm just going to put your son in a little crystal cave.
Yeah.
It's like, you're an idiot.
Let's see. What else about this game? Fuck the motion controls. I hated them. They were very unresponsive. And they
were not good.
They said that they built this game from the ground up using those controls, but for the most part, outside of the fact that you can attack and move at the same time, which I didn't really see the whole benefit from it, you could port all of these moves over to a normal control. You can still basically do up punch, down punch, side punch, up kick, down kick, side kick, just like you would in Save the Earth and Melee. Only difference is when you're trying to move the Wii, for me at least, whenever I try to do like an up punch, it registers the up movement like a jump. So I'm jumping when I'm trying to uppercut, and I'm uppercutting when I'm trying to jump.
And you jump like you're on the move. Like, there was no point to jumping in that game. Also.
Yeah, no. And
only person cares that mattered is anyone who could fly.
Yeah, and jumping on the moon, that was like a big criticism everyone was complaining about when it came out.
But again, a lot of it was like there was no dedicated jump attack. You would just do the same attacks in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, so
like I said, there was some weird shit, and also grabbing, like there was cool grabbing animations, but just none of it worked.
No, it didn't. Like I said, like it was,
and also the Wii hardware just not good. Like that's the thing that a lot of things through Nintendo, it's because they were crippled on these systems that have one difficult software to program, like hardware to program on, and then graphical limitations. Because like Unleashed, if this was on the Xbox, this game probably would have looked not better, but like a hair better than this.
Yes, I definitely agree. Which is ironic because this game was made,
and also the 360 was out by then.
Yeah, but apparently they chose the Wii because it was the most popular console at the time, so they built it from the ground up. Man. Despite the fact that it was built up from the ground up to be on the Wii, it looks like this is a game that just could not run on the Wii.
That's my biggest like sadness of it. It's the fact that like it had the potential to be very great, and then even when they made the PS2 port, the PS2 was basically clinging to life at that point.
Yeah, and it just, from what I've seen, it just looks like a worse running version of Save the Earth.
And it is.
Yeah, and then like the two new characters that it had, Batra and Obsidius, they were just clones of Mothra and Orga, respectively.
The only thing that was cool, like it was cool seeing the character asset for Batra and like Larva and Imago.
Yeah.
Like, but that's like it.
Yep.
Like, which is again unfortunate.
So David, did you have any experience at all playing Godzilla Unleashed?
Like post-mortem?
Yeah, I probably played it like maybe 2-3 years after it was released.
And what were your
mostly because it was a hard game to find.
It was actually that's actually true. I remember I had to hunt mine down pretty specifically because of that. Getting a Wii is easier than finding that game.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Same with actually, I regret not keeping my copy of Kamen Rider Dragon Knight for the Wii also.
Ooh, okay.
Which is just the Kamen Rider Ryuki PS2 game.
Yeah.
I have that one too.
Nice.
It wasn't good, but I wish I kept it. That one at least had, but that one had controller support because it was a fucking regular console game before then.
It was a decent game. It ain't no melee, but
like it was a fine time if you were invested in that property, which I loosely was. Like I was still very much in the dark about Kamen Rider up until that point too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh cool, it's like the novelty of like I have a Kamen Rider game.
Yeah, I got a thing that's like somewhat Power Rangers adjacent.
Basically, like that's basically what I would try to get as much as I could. I would try to see if there was like Power Ranger games I could play, but like whatever. We'll get into that in a bit.
Hey, Johnny Young Bosch was a voice actor in that game.
But final thoughts on Unleashed, because again, I would like. There's a lot to say about Unleashed, but at the same time, like so much of it has already been said because like the making of that game is so out in the open that I would say just my final thoughts is that it was an exciting journey to take leading up to it, and then just the payoff was just not worth it.
Yeah,
and it was one of those things where like I think that hurts me the most as a Godzilla fan. I think maybe you guys can share the sentiment is because we like it so much. When something comes out of Godzilla's or whatever that isn't good or doesn't meet certain expectations, we feel, at least for me, I feel almost a slight level of like either guilt or like being ashamed of it, because it's something that's so long in my life that I was always ridiculed for.
Yeah.
That if something of Godzilla that's good, people are like, oh wow, that's cool. I feel validated. But when it sucks and people are like, Godzilla fucking sucks, as a kid, I was like, they're saying that to my face, like even though they're not saying it to me, they're saying it to me.
Like you take some offense to any criticism made towards a Godzilla product.
When I was real little, obviously not anymore, but still, it was like something that I hold near and dear, and to like something that I was already teased about is also bad, so I can't defend it. Right,
because
it's like, well, not only does the thing I like get made fun of, it also has a shitty game to go with it. So now people can be like, well, now look at this little sucks. He has a shitty game too. We should feel bad. Like it was like that kind of feeling where it's like, man, fuck.
That's kind of what I felt like, but with Godzilla '98.
Oh,
literally same. I didn't like Godzilla '98, but I liked Godzilla. Like it was one of those things where I would kind of was in his corner no matter what. So like I liked the cartoon, but when people would be like, "Oh, that movie," I was like, "Yeah, no, it's okay." Like I would even when people make fun of that movie being bad, I would still feel bad.
Yeah.
It was like making fun of a friend of mine. It was like, come on, man. Like,
he's trying his best here.
No, literally, that's what it felt like. It literally was like, come on, dude, like, give him a break. But it was really me.
He's fighting for his life, man.
It was me projecting, like, don't make fun of me, please. This is the one thing I have.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you feel, where it's like you see a lot of these games coming out around 2007. Like, let's say Super Mario Galaxy, for example. That came out on the Wii. That's getting all these rave reviews. And then here's the thing that you're far more passionate about. Unleashed, that's getting like it's getting like a 3 out of 10 on various websites. And you're like, oh.
Well, again, the Game Informer I said you about its hype up. The review that trashes it.
Yes, that's
always the review. The Game Informer review is like a snippet, and you're like, "This game fucking blows. Don't play it. You're stupid if you like it. like if you bought this game, beat yourself in the head with a hammer.
Fuck you.
Like literally, that's almost verbatim what they were like. It's like that shit.
Yeah.
like that's what I'm talking about. Like it was like stuff like that where it's like, man, fuck you.
Yeah. And then that's its legacy.
Like they would just be dismissive of something like that, even if it's not good.
Oh yeah, at that point it was just written off as another Wii shovelware game when we really wanted it all to be so much more than that.
And I'll touch on it now just because I don't have much else to say about it because I don't know if any of you played it. But the PS4 Godzilla game actually. I'll touch on actually, we'll go to that one next. So that was, I guess, the last like major Godzilla game. Thing. Yeah. So, well, my brief history at that one is because I didn't think it was going to be at least announced in America. I bought a secondhand PS3 for real dirt cheap. Yeah. Got a Singapore account and then bought that game on, basically for the PS3.
Yeah.
So, like, again, for what it was fine when it was basically like no one else is playing this but me. Like,
right. Shit. I think I downloaded the demo of it from my PlayStation Network, my Japanese network account.
Yeah, and then they announced it to be released in America the next fucking year, so I was like, God damn it.
I mean, technically speaking, what you got was the first game. What we got in America was the second game that was called Godzilla Versus in Japan.
They're the same game.
Okay.
They're the same game, but you can now play as everyone else.
Right, which was sort of like
not designed to be played as solo playing characters.
Right,
which I'll get into in a second.
Oh yeah. This was
this game. I've gone ins and outs of that game till there's I platinumed that game on both consoles, but. There was the omission of the stomp button for Godzilla, which made no sense.
Oh.
Like he had a dedicated move where he would just look down and just go and stamp his foot down.
Yeah,
it was satisfying if there was like a row of tanks in front of you and just went and just stepped on them. But that's like a weird nitpick I've always had. It's like it's literally just absent for the game. You hit down like attack, he doesn't do anything. It's like what? Anyways.
Yeah.
But the game, again, it was a Godzilla, the best we can describe it as a Godzilla simulator.
Right. Degree. That's essentially what the game, it's essentially like a pseudo remake of Godzilla Generations for the Dreamcast.
Which, again, my biggest critique of that is that it had borders around the level you could see. It should have had wider, or they should have just allocated the destruction points better.
Yeah,
because I would just walk in a straight line through a small like basically like literal sandbox size shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. But I didn't feel like I had full reign of like Tokyo when I was in it. You know what I mean?
Right. You're only given like a slice of Tokyo.
I think I was literally just in like Shibuya. Like that's like the only wherever the Godzilla Hotel is. That sliver of town.
Oh, Shinjuku. That's Shinjuku.
Yeah, Shinjuku. Like so, it was a tiny sliver of Shinjuku. Not even like the rest of it. It was like it was like maybe like the equivalent would be like 12 blocks or something like that up and down the street.
Yeah.
Or some shit. But it's like that. And like, again, I didn't feel like I was in the full city. I didn't feel like I was there. Like, or like I would be in like the ore refinery. I couldn't jump in the water. Like there was a boat attacking me. I couldn't jump in the water and go get him.
Yeah.
So like, it was just like little things like that where it's like, why have this here?
Yeah, it's like the gameplay is intentionally made so slow, and yet it's throwing all this.
I didn't mind the speed of it because I was like, I'm in for it to be Godzilla, so I'm fine with that. Because it's not a fighting game,
right? But it's sending.
So I'm fine with him being slow.
Yeah, but the problem is like you have only also limited amount of health, and so you got all these.
Well, health wasn't an issue. It was move set variety.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Well, it's the repetition. That's the big thing of it. I cannot play that game for more than 30 minutes at a time without, like...
I think it was like me platinuming that game. I did.
Here's the thing.
Again, like I was saying before, it pained me that I was not having fun.
No, that was the case. That was the case for me. I was unlocking all those characters, having to unlock the DNA of certain characters in order to unlock them. And it was also a torturous experience for me.
And a lot of characters were not meant to be like playable characters.
Yeah, because they had super limited. Like if Godzilla's movesets was already repetitive, everyone else,
like Batra and Mago, is near impossible to play, is because he doesn't touch the ground, so you can't. You have to basically rely on hit detection to fly over buildings to destroy them, because none of your attacks land.
Right.
Because you're fucking flying the whole time.
Yeah.
Showa Era Rodan, again, he walks. He doesn't fly. You don't have sustained flight with Rodan.
Mm-hmm.
Ghidorah is fine, but again, some of the animations are weird. Like there's just weirdness to him,
mm-hmm.
and then the mechas you can't just play freely. Like there's just a lot of weird things
mm-hmm.
that seem obvious that aren't there. Same with the iterations of Godzilla. They had like 64 in it, but it was like this weird dust colored variant.
Right, because I'm sure
the toy was coming out.
Yeah, I was about to say this was nothing more than one big promotional tool to advertise the SH Monster Arts figures, because these monsters were modeled after the SH Monster Arts figures.
But it was cool playing as 2014 Godzilla. The only thing that's weird is that
mm-hmm.
you can't evolve him. Like he starts huge.
Yeah.
He starts huge even when you're lower leveled.
Yeah.
But because he's so big, it's hard for you in early levels to destroy anything. Right. Because you're so fucking big.
It's basically, yeah, well, I would say like it's kind of like a weird like God mode kind of thing when you're playing as him.
Yeah, and then just other strange things where, again, like, the ending's always the same in the first one. Like, you always fight Mechagodzilla to Kiryu, and you always, like, lose, technically. You lose by winning.
Right. Yeah. And then, like, I think at a certain point, if you're playing as the mechas, then Burning Godzilla would be the final opponent.
Yeah, and again, the structure of it was because it was weird, because it was like a palpable size growth when you would start getting real big.
Yeah.
But because the levels were so non-varied, you would see the same levels over and over, and you couldn't tell anymore at a certain point.
Oh, true. Yeah. Because there were like some like countryside looking areas or city areas or
there was one mountainous area, and that's
one mountainous, yeah. And
technically there's an open sea area, but you're not wading in the water either, and you can see the border once again. And
I think there's an oil refinery area as well, and that's about it, I think.
Yeah. Another thing for me too is like I wish there was a dedicated aim control, like. Because you would have flying helicopters, and you kind of have to just kind of spray your breath.
Yeah.
You didn't have a dedicated aim where you could, like, lock on to a target and fire your beam at it.
Right. And again, like, this is just, like, less so a Godzilla thing, but more of, like, a gamer thing, where the lack of responsive controls and delayed inputs, and just, like, you're moving so slow when these targets are moving so fast, it leads to a lot of frustration.
It felt very much like an arcade game more than anything else.
I guess so, yeah, in terms of its
again, Godzilla Generations is the best comparison, because that one, which I've played, is basically you just walk into shit, accrue points, and then you win when everything's done.
Right. David, did you ever get the chance to play Godzilla for PS4?
Did you ever get the chance to afford a Godzilla for the PS4?
Well, I got it the day it came out.
Me too.
So, I mean, it's impossible to find it now, so I'm glad I got it.
I do regret not buying a second copy when I saw one in the stores. Not that I'd be a shit-ass and scalp it, but at the same time...
Now I'm thinking about doing the same thing for Destroy All Monsters Melee, because who knows if that one's going to be out of print in a few years.
I mean, for me, it's like, I don't want to be a shit-ass and do that to somebody, because, like, I would feel bad if someone actually bought that from me.
We're going to be in a recession in a few years. We're going to need the extra money.
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, $500, original copy, instructions included.
I'm hoping they just hope like actually unleash an actual trailer, because that was not a trailer we got.
Yeah, it was more of like a teaser of what got
like that was a proof of concept at best.
Yes.
I'm gonna be 100% with it. Like again, I think I even said that in our little live stream, but like I I tried to sound as excited as I was, but that trailer did not excite me. I was excited for the announcement.
Yeah.
That trailer did actually nothing for me.
No, hold on. Before we go into that topic,
but yeah, no, we're going to dedicate the second half of this episode to other games.
Yeah, but also, David, what were your thoughts on Godzilla PS4 gameplay wise?
Were you very much like everyone else?
I was excited for it. I thought it was going to be another Destroy All Monsters Melee. Then I played it, and it's slightly better than Unleashed, but not by much. It
has a little more polish than Unleashed. Yeah, no, it's very much presentation over quality, and even the presentation is a little ugh.
Yeah. Godzilla's approaching the generator.
What's the point of this game?
The diorama mode in that game is miserable because there's a lot of spaces your character can't be placed in, and also you can't have like beam weapons coming out of their mouth while you're doing the dioramas.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
which is lame because it's like, oh, I want to make my own little Godzilla destruction scene, like have him fighting a guy with beam coming out of his mouth. Like, you can't do any of that. There's nothing. Like, they give you nothing to work with. Cause I'm a sucker for like photo modes and like stuff like that, but like past 2 games I've played have abysmal diorama modes, and it always bums out because I'm into that stuff. Like, it's like posing little virtual toys, but like,
yeah,
this sucked ass. Also, in the Japanese version of the game, you could custom soundtrack every monster that you encountered.
Oh.
So you could either have some characters have their main themes playable, or you could, like, if you had your own music, have certain themes play exclusively.
Ah, that would have been cool. Because,
so it was cool when King Ghidorah would show up, the theme from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah would play.
Yeah.
I remember the soundtrack annoyed the shit out of me that I turned it off.
Yeah, well, because it's just generic, like,
orchestral music. Yeah, I think we only ever got like 2 Ifukube themes. There was like the classic Godzilla March, and then there's whenever like the military like goes to like level 2 or level 3.
And the War in Space theme.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's if you reach like the maximum danger level, I believe.
Yeah, but overall, it's like it felt like there was not enough meat on the bones of this game. It's like it does one thing specifically, and that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know how anyone else is able to like legitimately enjoy that game, but I know there are people that do.
Here's the thing. I will say that if I have an itch to scratch where I just want to be Godzilla outside of the fighting games, I will play that game sometimes. But I'll usually do like 1 or 2 run throughs as Godzilla, and then like King Ghidorah, and that's it. And then I'll put down the game for another like 5 months.
Yeah. I mean, if I still had that game, because I'm not sure if I shared this publicly. When I was moving back from Japan to the US, I put all my games in a box that I had shipped over, and even though I've shipped out a lot of boxes to my
like boxes,
my parents' house in the US, well, they all arrived, all except my video game box did not arrive, and it got lost somewhere in Chicago. So wherever that box may be,
I feel it.
And that's how I lost my copy of Godzilla for PS4.
And that song is playing over that box somewhere.
Yes.
For a second, I thought you were going to tell us that your students made fun of you.
Nah.
Never.
Why would they make fun of me? Because I enjoy children's media that was made for their kids?
No, not because you like a shitty game.
How dare you? I'll have you know that they made fun of me not for Godzilla PS4, but for City Shrouded in Shadow.
Really?
Ooh,
no, they
now we're gonna be talking about Godzilla adjacent games.
Yes, and I figured since this is also a PS4 game
that I have.
Yes, that also sucks. Balls.
Unfortunately, like, here's the thing. If it was translated, it'd be a time. I think the language barrier is what makes it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the entertainment is meant to come from the absurd dialogue choices you're supposed to choose for your character as they get into these scenarios. But
also the frame rate eats the fucking house. It's so bad.
Yes, basically you are a character. David, have you ever heard of City Shrouded in Shadow?
Or just the Dave Crisis series?
We talked about this. It's that one crossover where you don't get to play any of those crossover IPs?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, they're not meant to. You're meant to be like...
We did an SOS episode about this once.
We did do the SOS back in the day. That's very true. So, yeah, we talked about this back when it was new, and all these years later, I feel like this has just become like a little footnote in Godzilla's history. And yeah, it's basically,
there's a lot of people in it, but it's very strange.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a weird game because it's like you're essentially playing. It came from a series as a spin-off. It's a spin-off of a series of games
from the Day of Crisis games.
Day of Crisis, where you're basically playing as a survivor trying to survive, a civilian trying to survive a natural disaster. But in this case, you're
all at once. It basically the disasters that happen in SimCity happen to your character all the whole day.
Yes. And in this case, you are a civilian trying to survive an Ultraman alien attack, a Godzilla attack, an Evangelion angel attack.
There are some cool moments for sure. Other ones are kind of weird.
Yeah, a Gamera attack and also a Pat Labor.
You get involved with Pat Labor.
Yeah, and during this whole time. You have the Yakuza coming after you, so you've got to avoid the Yakuza and all this stuff. It sounds like a really cool, intense action game, but it's not. It's basically a walking simulator. You walk from one designated area to another, and occasionally
do really bad dodge rolls.
Dodge rolls, yes. And
but there are some cool moments. I will get I would say some gripping moments is when Imitation Ultraman first shows up and he just chases you.
That's true. There's some intensity there where the actual threat,
the Legion soldiers or the Gauss.
Yeah, although the frame rate absolutely chugs when the Legion soldiers are running about.
The Legion soldiers are chasing you, and then whenever Godzilla's there, also chugs.
Yeah,
but also there's interesting character, especially for Godzilla and King Ghidorah. And some of it just makes sense because they're standing in the middle of a street. I'm like, Ghidorah for sure cannot stand in the middle of a street.
No. But it is cool to look out a window and literally see them fighting each other.
That's the biggest, for me, someone like me who enjoys a simulator or something like that, where I can just kind of stand and just watch them kind of because what's cool is that they'll there's certain zones in which they'll actually do moves. But then if you watch them for a while, they'll kind of just have idle animations and will occasionally go through a little motion.
Yeah.
For example, Ultraman Tiga, he's fighting Kuroid, and they'll kind of do a little back and forth 1-2 punch, knockback, and then reset. But it's kind of fun to just watch them do it for a few cycles because you're hey, cool. There's a little bit of that here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Evangelion one's neat, but that one's the one that has the biggest frame rate issues because there's so much going on.
Right. Especially with the moment where Eva Unit 1 is busting out the Gatling gun, and so every single bullet that's being fired rapidly,
and the sky opens up.
Yeah.
Actually, also the Mothra fighting Batra one also sucks.
I forgot what happened there.
Well, that one's because one, it's raining, so there's shitty rain physics. Or taking up the screen and causing frames, and then Mothra and Batra are firing their lasers at each other, so it's hitting the bridge. So it's explosions trying to render, as well as rain and mist trying to render on top of it.
Right. But overall, the game itself is just extremely basic. The gameplay is extremely basic. You barely get to interact with anything in the game. You're just walking, running, and dodging. That's
and also the monsters aren't real.
Unfortunately, so.
I will say there's a lot of moments that would have been great if the frame rate wasn't bad. Mm-hmm. One notably is when Godzilla is fighting Kiryu. Kiryu goes berserk and walks through the building you're standing in.
I remember that. Yeah. You
have to run to the other half of the building to escape his path because the frame rate's so bad it shits.
Yes, that's very true.
And also the Ultra Brothers fighting Belial, and my boy Zero shows up.
That is true. That's right. I remember. I think that was the first Ultraman level. No. That might have been the second one.
That's the last one.
Oh, the last one. Okay.
Yeah, because it's Ultraman. It's Ultra 7, Taro, and original Ultraman fighting Belial, and then Zero shows up.
And if you're wondering, for anyone listening, if you're wondering if the story ever explains what all these characters are doing here at the same time, they don't. They
do, just not well.
Yeah, or the characters are oh, it's that character. moving on.
There's like if you talk to enough people, you find out that there's been a thing going on in the background. Like it's an alien thing. Like what you find out one of the characters is a fucking alien.
Yeah.
And it's because they're there that this stuff's happening.
I see. But that was a weird thing, and like I said, I had a copy.
It's one of those things where unfortunately it's not something that's easily accessible. If it was, I would say give it a shot just to see, but it's not, so don't.
Yeah, I'd say if you can understand Japanese, or you have a Japanese guide or an English to Japanese guide, like on GameFAQs or whatever, if people still use GameFAQs these days,
or on your phone. I use my phone.
Or that too. Yeah, you can check it out. Anyways, let's see. What's another game we can talk about?
Well, I said we can talk about a sparse matter. I mentioned earlier, allude to that in between Melee and stuff. I had the two Godzilla animated series Game Boy games. I had Godzilla Monster Wars, and then the other one just called Godzilla the Series.
Okay. So this one, I never played either of them, so I'll let you
these
take
ones
the
were
stage.
These ones, the first one, Godzilla the Series, I didn't own. I owned the Monster Wars one, but essentially it was like the best way to describe it. It was almost like it was like a rail shooter where Godzilla would auto path, and you basically would just have to shoot obstacles with little fireballs on your way, and then have like boss fights. It was like a fine, okay game. A lot of it was just like memorizing the patterns so you don't lose all your health before you reach the end of the stage. And then Monster Wars was very much the same type of game, but just a tiny bit refined. In terms of the game didn't automatically auto walk you like the other one did. But it was fun. It was fun for what it was. The music was pretty fun. A lot of the monsters from the main line series were there. Like, it was a fun little time. And again, it was like, what else do I have Godzilla-wise for the Game Boy Color? Nothing. So that was my little friend for a while. I had the Godzilla, Tiger Electronic Godzilla game, which was horrifyingly loud and shitty.
Was that based on the 98 version?
No, this was like part of the Trendmaster line.
Ah.
So yeah, look up Godzilla Tiger Electronic game. There was two versions of it too. One was that version, and then there was one that I wanted as a kid that came with a lanyard and a little Godzilla face. That I'm pissed I didn't get. The game was obnoxiously loud. It literally was like a Tiger game. It was like it was like loud, like buzzing sounds.
Yeah.
Basically, you were Godzilla. You basically were fending off UFOs.
Okay.
All I remember is though when you lost, you got that when you lost.
Oh.
It was weird. It was just like that sting. That most people associate with like Dracula and shit, but it was weird. It was like whenever you lost.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling, see if you can find like the one I'm talking, because I remember there was one version of the Godzilla Tiger Electronic game where it was like a kid had it as like a wearable. These are all not that game. What the fuck?
Yeah, no. The only ones I can find are Trendmasters. This is the only one that comes up.
There is one that I know. Okay, let me see. Because there's that one, and then I remember there was like a carrying sleeve for that Godzilla game that I wanted so bad. And also, it was like one of the few times in my life I was like, when I saw it and I saw the kid with it, I wanted to like strangle him. I was like, I want that. I deserve that. You don't deserve that.
It belongs to me.
Yeah, no, really. Like, I was pissed because this little shit ass was on the cover, and I was like, that should be on there. Because I was that kind of kid. I was like, no, you're not a bigger Godzilla fan than me. Fuck you.
Let's see. I mentioned before Godzilla Domination. That was the one that I played the most.
Yeah, you can talk about that one because I played that secondhand. I didn't own that as a kid.
Oh,
and
no.
David, if you had any of these, please.
Yeah.
Chime in. Squeak the wheel.
I played the shit out of Godzilla Domination up until I eventually had Destroy All Monsters Melee 2 years later. And I played through emulation. I was able to play quite a lot out of Godzilla Unleashed Double Smash for the DS, which was
that game is
horrible. Yeah,
that game is ass.
Yeah, I only played it just to unlock everything.
Godzilla on the mobile Godzilla was pretty good. Godzilla Smash 3.
I played Smash 3 and I liked it up until the part where it was impossible to play unless you put money into it.
Yeah, at a certain point, unless you sprung for that.
Yeah. And then I would say what was it? Battle Line, I played Battle Line a decent amount and managed.
I still have it on my phone. I gave it up because I did put money into it, but like
me too. Mainly for the Ava characters.
Same with what is it? Fucking Ultraman Puzzle Swatch. I played that for a little while and I put money into it, and I'm like, why did I do this?
I just got bored after a while, but anyways,
that's it. And also, it was just so lagging compared to like other MOBAs. What about you, David? What did you play?
Did you ever play any portable Godzilla games?
I fucking found it. Okay, I'm gonna post it in the chat.
Okay.
It was okay. So it was a slightly different version of the Godzilla handheld game.
Yeah,
but like you'll see what I mean. Like look at this picture and tell me if you were a child and you saw this kid, you wouldn't want to beat the living shit out of him. You also post this in the episode description too.
Okay, sure.
David, do you not want to kill that kid?
Why does he look like it came from the Andy Griffith Show?
Yeah, slide Godzilla off and wear him like a medallion. Yeah, I would do that. I don't give a shit. But look at that little bastard. I wanted that.
Fuck him in his stupid bowl cut.
God damn it. God.
I did
also I realized this wasn't Tiger.
Oh, okay.
It was MGA.
Micro Games of America. Never heard of them. But I recognize that Godzilla logo, and boy, my nostalgia for it.
But bring that up in the main thing so we can all look at it at once.
Yeah.
Zoom in on that child. Make that actually. For David, when you do the cover image for this, please, please
put that kid in there. That poor kid who's probably like a 40-year-old man at this point.
Please, I beg you, please have him in there for me.
Put him in the thumbnail.
Yes.
I want him in the thumbnail. Remember, we all get requests of what our images is. I want him in the thumbnail.
We're about to end this kid's whole career.
Who knows? Maybe he'll reach out to me and say, like, hey, stop it.
Oh, yeah.
There's your real monster right there.
Yeah. No, I want, like, again, no, for real. Like, I wasn't as vehemently mad, but I did when I was a little kid, when I saw him, I literally was like, I should be wearing that. Maybe because, like, my dad wouldn't buy it for me because I already had it. Like, the other version of the game.
Oh,
but, like,
okay.
I saw that little jacket. Like, it's mainly because, like, I looked at this kid's face and he's like, hey, I got it, you don't. I'm like, fuck you, I'd strangle you with that thing. I'm excited for when people can see the episode and like see that image of this child and then get to this point in the episode and hear me rant about him.
Watch at
how much I hate him.
Watch, Frank, at the next Kaiju Brooklyn, they're gonna invite that kid as the next special guest.
Starring child from obscure, like not even Tiger Electronic game ad.
Yeah.
He's probably like, I didn't even get to keep that. I'm like, good. I'm glad you didn't get to keep it. I should have had it. Okay, back to Godzilla games. So there's also the portable monsters.
Wait, hold on. David never got to talk about the portable games that he grew up on.
Oh yeah.
So the only one I played was the Godzilla game they released for the Game Boy Color.
Which one? The one based on the series?
Yeah, that's the one I had.
Maybe
based on the animated series, or was everything like very chibi?
Oh no, it was on the Toho movies.
So was it the one where it was all chibi? Like
I guess yeah. So
because that one I played. Yeah, that's the one where Godzilla his breath is a little boxing glove.
Yeah, that one.
Yep, that's that. Yeah, that's just called Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just called Godzilla.
This one.
I played it. It's very dumb.
I don't.
Also, I can buy that. I can buy that Godzilla Tiger handheld game for $49 or best offer.
Sounds like you looked it up.
Yeah. What do you think I did? What do you think I do with my time?
Let's see. There was another Game Boy game called Monster King Godzilla. This one actually looks pretty decent.
That game I've played. It's one of those things where I feel like if I played on actual hardware, it'd be a lot more fun. Because on emulation, it does not run as smoothly, unfortunately.
I remember my friend Steve, who would go on to become my eventual roommate here in Seattle. He asked me to track down this game for him, and lucky enough, I found it at a secondhand game shop near where I lived in Gifu. So I
back there. Get us more toys again.
I bought you enough toys. God damn it.
Well, I mean, when we when we eventually go on our Japan trip,
yes,
we're going to Gifu. We're going there.
Absolutely, David. Would you be down to go to Gifu?
And I'm going to disrespect your hometown. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Ooh, I will say though, for to go back to Godzilla Domination, I love the fucking art style of that game.
Dude, okay. Aside, if I may put on my little creep hat. They made that news reporter way too fucking hot.
Yes, they did.
I'm not So David, I'm putting this on there too. I not only do I want that kid, I want her on there too.
Yes.
No, but like actually, no joke. They made her like incredibly hot. It's messed up. What is it? Angry? I'm not even kidding around. I'm not even kidding around here.
Kanimatsu, that's her name.
Look at it! Look how they drew her. Jesus. This is and again, this is just like tucked away in a game that a lot of people just weren't playing, and meanwhile they just had this fucking like bombshell just hanging out.
this spunky news reporter. And here's the thing: for
again, half her outfits are crop tops.
Check this out, okay? For real homies out there, she still gets a fan art every now and then. People have not remembered her. I mean, have not forgot. Sorry, people have not forgot. People have not forgotten her, and I mean that in a good way.
I will never forget her.
Isn't this just a generic anime girl? Like, ain't she from the Jackie Chan Adventures?
Nope. No, again, the closest I guess you can get to is like Ray.
Yeah, but like for a lot of people, it's like this was like Godzilla.
It was because when you first see her in normal reporting attire, like oh cool, like a little announcer, and then next bunch of episodes just like crop top city, like
and then skin tight jumpsuits.
Skin tight jumpsuit. Even when she's in the Arctic, she's got a fucking crop top and like tight pants. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
A bunch of little boys experienced their sexual awakening during this game.
Oh, they sure did.
She's wearing her little coal miner outfit. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Why'd they do this to me?
They knew what they were doing, Frank.
Also, you know what I find the most interesting thing also with culturally with Godzilla games?
Yeah. Because
we didn't have... It happened twice, this game and Super Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the newest Mechagodzilla movies out.
Right.
The last Mechagodzilla movie we would have recognized was the Mechagodzilla of said game. So in Godzilla's Super Godzilla, Showa era Mechagodzilla is your opponent, not Heisei Mechagodzilla. Conversely, in this game, Kiryu is not the Mechagodzilla that he is in the Japanese version. It is Heisei Mechagodzilla in this game.
Right. They did the same thing that they did for the Japanese version of the GameCube game.
Well, in the GameCube game, he just wasn't a featured character. Both Mechagodzillas were in that one, but I'm talking about like they didn't replace a entire character model.
Oh no, that's the thing.
Mechagodzilla and Super Godzilla had a whole other new moveset too.
Oh yeah. But I'm just saying for Domination, it was kind of like made to be like a pseudo tie-in in Japan to Tokyo SOS. So
yeah, and also because the Godzilla in that game also looked like Tokyo SOS version.
And Mothra as well. They tinted Mothra to look more yellowish.
And Ghidorah was a GMK variant.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
If you look at Ghidorah, he's like squat and weird looking.
I see. Gotcha.
And Megalon looks like he's based on his Trendmaster toy version because he's green.
Yes, yeah, very, very green. I remember that.
Yeah, there's the comparison for all three of them.
Yeah, all three. I love the fan. Again, big shout out to the people who do the fan art for this game here.
Weirdest thing about that game too is that Mecha King Ghidorah was the final boss,
and he's an alien and he's fucking giant.
Yeah, I thought that was the weirdest part. It's a cool boss fight, but it's also what?
I remember when I first played this game, Domination as a kid, and I'm fighting Mecha King Ghidorah. My heart was pounding. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here?
Yeah, the first time I played it, I was like, this is so tough. And then when you figure out you can just if you just time it just right, you will never get hit by it.
Yeah.
Like Mecha Ghidorah will never grab you. You'll never get hit.
Oh yeah.
It's perfect. And then Rodan, I think, was just based on, Fire Rodan.
Yeah. Everything was kind of based off of Fire Rodan at the time, but they just didn't call it Fire Rodan until Unleashed.
But it was cool that Megalon was green. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Also, out of all the critters that are in this game, Megalon is the included adversary because for the most part, this is the big five.
Yeah, I'd say
plus Megalon.
If I were to make a guess, I believe they most likely put Megalon in there because he's probably like the most unique as a character in terms of like he can dig, he can shoot fireballs, he's got drill arms.
Yeah, and also because again, he was in the American game, like
yeah. Also. And because this is an American-made game, this was designed to be, or Megalon at the time was the most recognized Godzilla movie because of its absurdly large marketing campaign when it came over here.
That too. That's also why I think Megalon's featured in a lot of stuff too. I would have liked to see Gigan in this type of art style.
Yeah, Gigan is definitely, like, in terms of the franchise, is way more prevalent of a character. But in terms of the US, I think Megalon is more recognizable.
Yeah, and also he just cuts a very cool look.
Yes.
Because again, he's the only other bug in the Godzilla franchise that's not Mothra.
Or Batra. Or Megaguirus.
That's Batra and Batra and Mothra, and so they're all kind of like those type of bug adjacents.
Yeah.
Because they're all flying insects. I guess Megalon is a dude.
He's the only humanoid bug man.
Yeah, because again, Mothra and Batra are the same. They're the same guy. That means these are the same picture.
Yes. Here's Mothra and here's Goth Mothra. Here's Gothra.
And again, Megaguirus, it's a flying bug. Like we have a flying bug.
Yes.
I like Megaguirus,
we even have a goth bug.
Yeah. Well, Megaguirus is gay. Like that's the difference. Okay. I can pride with everybody.
All right.
Because it's a queen.
Woo. Let's see. Other game. You know what? Given that this game was produced by, I want to say Domination was produced by the people who would eventually go on to do
WayForward.
Yeah, WayForward, and WayForward did Dawn of the Monsters. Oh, Shantae too, but Dawn of the Monsters.
Yeah, which again another game which again was really good. Have complaints about some of the mechanics, but I do enjoy that game.
Yes,
not having crossplay killed it though.
Yeah. Dawn of the Monsters. Have you played this game, David?
No.
Have you heard about this game?
No, I've never heard of this game.
Really?
Why have you never heard of this game?
Actually, you know what? In David's defense, if it wasn't because of knowing you and a few other people, I probably wouldn't have really known about this game either.
But yeah, Dawn of the Monsters.
This was not advertised in every other space. I only saw ad for it in our circles.
That's true. I feel like so in the last 5 years.
So unless you knew what this game was fucking about.
Yeah.
And also it was a Kickstarter, so also a lot of it was like this game might not come out either.
True. Well, no. I think you're confusing that with Colossal Kaiju Combat, which did.
We'll save that for the end.
Okay.
Calm it down.
Keep it in your pants.
Yeah.
Keep that raging hate boner away.
Yeah. Keep it down. But yeah, that one was cool. Actually, before we even move into fan games, basically.
Yeah. Well, not fan games, more like the indie games.
War of the Monsters is one I'd love to talk about too, because that one I got late, but that game is still like one of the best monster fighting games out there.
Absolutely. In fact, I would argue that this is the game.
It's basically the fighting game version of. It's what the next evolution of the Rampage series should have been.
Yes. I definitely agree there. So like. A big thing a big sticking point I remember you had was the monsters don't feel big in War of the Monsters. And
no. In Gigabash.
In Gigabash, okay. Here, I feel like it strikes a nice balance where it does make you feel big enough to feel like a giant monster, but there's the fact that so many buildings are bigger than you, it just provides this really fun, very energetic playground.
You can climb them and interact with them.
You can smash them.
And also you're King Kong sized.
Yeah.
You can scale buildings.
Yeah. And it feels like a very large, very fun playground to do a whole bunch of shit. This one very much
more is like the Power Stone like game.
Yeah, but it's not like isometric. It's all behind the back camera. They do an interesting thing where if you're playing multiplayer, it's split screen, but if you get close together, then the split screen becomes one. I think
the only mechanic that's weird in the entire game is that everyone has a projectile.
What's weird about that?
it's no matter who, like, even the ape has a projectile.
Oh yeah, he just does like sonic blasts from his mouth.
But it's weird that, like, when you're not up close combat, you just suddenly have a laser.
I mean, that's true, yeah. And then, like, everyone
but it's just
spams
weird that, like,
it.
everyone, it's like the bug laser, like.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the bug like just spits out some like green stuff at you.
But still, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense. Like, Robot has one, the Godzilla has it, but like,
Yeah.
you know, some other stuff is like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Godzilla? You mean Togera?
Togera, yeah.
Actually, the only character I didn't like was the Tiki guy. I like Magamo. I don't
Yeah.
like the Tiki guy.
I think, yeah, we have one rock monster. We don't need two. We did not need two rock monsters.
Because they're not, like, he's the only character I don't play, I think, at all. Magamo is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, he's great. I always love the roar.
Magamo is just, and also one of his alt forms, he looks like Devastator.
That's true.
He's just all construction vehicles.
That was I think that was Mecha Sweet Tooth. You're talking about the Mecha Sweet Tooth skin. Oh no,
he has another one where he's like shovels and cranes and shit for hands.
That's true. Yeah, everyone.
The Tiki guy got the Sweet Tooth thing because
yes,
no one played at him.
That's true. And I love how if you download the game for the PS4, Mecha Sweet Tooth is automatically unlocked because in the original PS2 version, if you had
you had a save file of
Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah, Twisted Metal Black, and you got Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, because it was made by the same developers. Man, I love this game. Again, I love the fact that there are so many skins. Every character
Mazinger's in it.
Yeah, every character got to have 4 skins.
Who has an Ava skin that actually changes the character model?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, look at what is it? Tycon V, or not Tycon V? It's a real thing.
Oh no, it was Ultra V, Ultra 5.
Ultra V.
Yeah.
Look up Ultra 5's alt skins. So one of them literally just unit one.
There he is, right. Or it's more like a female version of Ultra 5.
Actually, but it's colored like Ava Unit 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, clearly.
What is it? The electric eyeball. His alt costume, you become Swamp Thing.
That's true. I remember that.
And here we go. Yeah, no. I think. Go down. Go slow. Slow down.
There we go.
So you had regular V,
the
evil
old,
V,
old Ray, an Ultraman. And I would
version. Say either Ultraman or Get a Robo version of V.
Yeah.
And then Ava colored V.
Yeah.
I would say that the third one is like Get a Robo.
That's true. I didn't think about that. That's right.
Next one.
The second one is Big O.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I could see it being Big O. I always thought it was just supposed to be like the evil version of him.
I always thought it was like more of like an uncolored prototype version of him.
All of Magmo's costumes are awesome.
Yeah.
Normal Magmo, then his like inverse colors were just red, and then Machine Magmo.
Yes.
Where he's got like a cool fire first, and then the other one and then the fire one, the full fire one. There's like a cool fire effect that comes off of you.
Oh yeah. Let's see. There was like
Raptor. Raptros. This one was interesting because it was like his normal form, a more traditional looking like dragon, and then like a more dragony dragon, and then skeleton dragon.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Zorgulon.
Praetor had a cool one.
Praetor, yeah. Praetor was also cool.
I think your thing froze, maybe.
There we go.
I think your screen froze.
Okay.
I can't see it.
All right. Let's see.
There we go. It just popped back up. Okay.
Your goddamn screen froze.
There it is. Yeah, Praetor was cool because they reused his assets a few times in the game. So it was regular Praetor, the killer ant version of Praetor, Mecha Praetor, and then a wasp.
Yes. Very creative uses of these skins that are not always just like or color palette swaps.
Yeah, then let's go to Tiki Guy, my least favorite guy. You're going in a weird order. Yeah, Tiki Guy, one was just regular Tiki Guy, one was kind of like a different version of Tiki Guy with like a little chain, a boxer, I think he was supposed to be.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, I never understood.
I see the boxing gloves. Well, I never played as him, so I never gave a shit. And then Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
The only thing cool about Sweet Tooth is like he has the Sweet Tooth that he goes like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. A lot of love and care for this game.
This guy again. Once I got his Fort costume, I only played as that whenever I used him.
Kineticlops, yeah.
And also, every character had an origin story cutscene when you won,
except the last two, Zorgulon and Raptros.
Yeah, well, because they were taking like one was like a secret, like the lead boss, and then was like sub boss.
Mm-hmm.
Kongors or whatever. His was cool because what's cool is about his third one is that's a featured like sub character you fight in game.
Yes,
you fight him in the first level and then you kill him and then he comes back as a robot.
Yes, I did appreciate they use the skins as to represent extra characters in the story mode.
Yeah, and then like all Ice Beast.
Yes.
Kongor.
Let's see.
You had obviously Godzilla one, the Barney one.
Yes.
That looks more like Super Godzilla, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does.
It does. In game, he looks a lot like Barney. I think because like they're really dulling the colors. I remember it's like bright purple.
I always thought it was blue.
Then Mecha Togira, who's my I usually plays Mecha Togira.
Uh-huh.
And then the Devil.
Yeah. Surprised he didn't show up in the story mode.
El Diablo! And then this guy was interesting. I hate all of his forms except for the fourth. The fourth was the coolest.
Yeah, they made him look even more retro looking. Robo 47, that was his name.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh,
Butterbean.
Yes, this is the last one we didn't show.
I hate him.
Zorgulon.
I like what I called the skin for Butterbean. But like I always played that for him because it just looked cooler.
Yeah, like a squid. You're playing as a squid monster essentially instead of a squid
alien. I never played him normally because I'm just like he sucks.
Yeah, not a whole lot of range with him.
And but also like because the level you face him on is like a normal sized ship, so it's like like he doesn't feel like a giant monster.
Yeah. But anyways, David, did you have any experience playing War of the Monsters?
Because I played this game late, so like I don't have early young experiences. I played this game when I was like in high school.
I played this. Go ahead.
I played it late, so I got it for the PS3.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Look, the thing about this game is that I feel like it's still enjoyable whenever you pick up and play it.
Oh, totally. For me, I played this when I rented this game from Hollywood Video back in the day, and I remember I used to thought this game was like really scary because of its like darker, murkier colors. It's more dramatic music. It's creepy monster sound effects. And it's just, I remember being fascinated by this style of game because it didn't dawn on me that this was going for like a campy 50s retro style. So
I got the moment it came out, but also actually I have to find one of my favorite print ads for War of the Monsters.
But
remember when there's print ads for shit?
I remember the print ads. Was War of the Monsters? Was that the one with a bloody giant tooth on the mid?
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah,
I remember that.
Actually, you know what's funny? When I first saw that, it took me forever to figure out what the hell that was. It like grossed me out until I figured out it was a tooth.
Oh, I remember. Oh, there it is. Yes, I remember that one.
It took me so long to realize it was a tooth.
Oh, I
when
knew
I first saw it. It looked like because I was focusing on the blood part.
Yeah.
So for me, it looked like a fucking like albino like tremors, like a graboid.
Yeah.
So I didn't really because the way I was looking at it, because I was looking at that word bloodstain as an eyeball, so I had no idea what I was looking at.
Oh no, I knew this was a tooth, but I remember I was grossed out. So I saw this in a magazine at my barber shop. That's when I first saw of this and when I first learned about this game. And then I ended up seeing it at a Hollywood Video. Really big. I'm just reading off the magazine ad, ladies and gentlemen. Really big monsters, really brutal fights. Imagine a classic 1950s monster movie with a modern twist. No guys in rubber suits, no bad actors, no subtitles. You're a 100-foot monster and you're looking for a fight. Roam through the striking cityscapes, toss cars, swing gliders, and launch debris. Everything around you is a weapon. Trigger tidal waves and earthquakes. Destroy everything in your path. Hope you have the will to win and a good dental plan. Only the meanest monster survives. War of the Monsters. Rated T for teen. For violence.
For babies.
Oh, and this is interesting. This is a tagline I haven't seen for PlayStation in forever. Live in your world, play in ours. I
remember that one. I'm playing Nut inside.
It's Portable Nut. Let's see. David, did you ever share your experience with this game?
Yeah, I played it for the PS3, and by that point I was already corrupted by Destroy All Monsters Melee, so I felt like the mechanics of this game weren't as good as Melee.
Interesting. Okay, because I would argue that this is a superior game to the Pipeworks Godzilla trilogy, as blasphemous as that might be.
This is, like, when I found this, like, when I discovered this game late, it was like me discovering game regarding the universe later in life, like, where it was like everything I thought was to be true and honest in my life was a fucking lie. The better monster game was on another console I didn't have for years.
That's right, you didn't have the PS2.
No, like I said, I got my PS2 when I started getting the Ultraman fighting games. That's when I got a PS2.
Got it.
Gotcha. Which I'll touch on briefly because they're more or less fighting game
Yeah.
But they feature it's very much like it's almost like a Dragon Ball Z Street Fighter type of mix where it's a 2D fighter with 3D backdrops.
Sure.
And basically you do execute special moves from the show. And it's a fun. You have little story modes, some what if story modes, and some just based on episodes. But it's a real fun time. And there's up to 4 in that series.
Yeah.
And then there's Ultraman, which is like I would say is the equivalent of the Godzilla PS4 game. It's like an Ultraman simulator, which I've never seen any game like this ever again. But it's really cool. Cool. And I wish they would make more of these games.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
or a remaster.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seemed like the PS2 was like... It seemed like the PS2 was like the golden age for tokusatsu tie-in video games, because once we entered the PS3 era, a lot of games were either very... Like, you can tell like a lot of games were running off of like older PS2 engines, or they were just like...
Case in point, was it Godzilla Unleashed for the PS2? Like...
Yeah. No. I'm talking about
fucking milk.
I'm talking about in Japan. In Japan, you had games like, let's say, remember the Kamen Rider game I got you, Climax Heroes Genesis?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it also had another, like, this was part of the Climax Heroes series of fighting games that Kamen Rider had for a while, and they had one on the PS4 as well. But they were all sort of like just kind of running on older game engines. And now we don't even get any new Kamen Rider games like those anymore. We had,
like the Battle Ride, like I have the Battle Ride Wars and stuff, and those games, like, again, they look archaic.
Yeah, or what was it?
Also, what happens because no one wants to make them.
Or I think it's Bandai. Bandai just doesn't want to put in the money to a proper budget for these games.
Well, because they know how well they'll do.
Yeah,
even if they're good games, then they know how well they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's like they don't even have to try to get them to sell. We had like an Ultraman game on the Switch for Rebu, but like it looked like absolute garbage.
And technically, there was a PSP version of the fighting game. It's the only one that has a modern era Ultra in it. It's the
Mebius.
Like that was the only that was like the last fighting game or playable fighting, because there was one for the Wii that was more of a turn-based game.
Yeah. Oh, that was about to bring that up. Like the only other games we get out of these,
I think it's like Card Dash or whatever.
Yeah, the only other games that we have out of these tokusatsu properties are the turn-based strategy RPG games, like the ones that cross over Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Gundam. And even then, we don't get those anymore. But
they all used to be homies. RX-78, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and a Gundam.
Yes. So yeah, it's a shame. I only played Fighting Evolution 0. I downloaded that when I'm back in high school. That was kind of
and sadly, Mebius plays like Ultraman Cosmos.
Yes. I would say like this was my introduction to the majority of the Showa Ultraman universe. I think it was slightly before I ever bought Ultraman 66. So I played this game before watching Ultraman 66 on DVD.
I got all these games in the span of like, I just found out about Ultraman beginning of that year. I have now the Ultraman video games.
I think
I remember it was a wild adventure too, because I had to borrow a friend's PS2.
Yeah.
Modify it in secret. Corbin helped me modify. My best friend Corbin helped me modify it.
Yeah.
Got the game with money I got from like doing like no, I actually did like little like chores. Like I literally did like the classic like went around the house looking for change, did chores, did errands, like earned that cash because I had to get that game, and then I found out I had to get the swap disc to like play it.
Yeah.
So it was so I basically dropped the 40 to buy, because back then luckily it did not cost that much. It was like $40 for each, basically.
Yeah.
Bought both of them at my dad's behest because he's like, fucking, I don't know what you're doing with this shit. Like, you know, got them, played them, and then again didn't understand a lick of what they were. Luckily, there was a full translated guide online that I printed out painstakingly. Mm-hmm. But like, I was like, this is everything right now for me.
Yeah.
Because like, it's basically every other Ultraman that I haven't even heard of or played as yet or knew about. So I was back. It basically brought me back to like the Surreal Monsters Melee type vibes, where it's like I can live out like dream matches and stuff, or just experience the world of Ultraman through this game.
Yeah,
because again, only Ultraman I had was the DVDs that came out.
Yeah, which is very few and far between.
240p videos on YouTube, and this. That's all I had.
Yes, I remember those days. Let's see.
David, did you ever get any import games as a kid or no?
Or even as an adult?
I feel like I was more of an outlier with that because I was just so feverish about getting things like that.
I seen them on Toho Kingdom, but I didn't know how to get them, much less.
I can't even tell you the amount of like years it took me as a child doing research just to be like, how can I find where to buy this?
I tried to modify my PS3, but I got so late.
I want to say I got mine on Yes Asia or something like that.
Yes Asia is a really I think it's still around. It's still a really good site for imports. Although
it was one of those, but it was very much like once I put my credit card in this, my dad's like, if we lose this house, it's on you. It was like one of those kind of purchases from back in the day.
Yeah.
That's also, I remember that actually happened, side tangent, probably doing a Holiday episode. I remember Family again, because I felt bad because like they wanted to get me stuff from Godzilla and stuff, but like there literally was nowhere to find it, or it was way too expensive for something, and I would feel bad if they bought me something too expensive that was dinky. Mm-hmm. So like I remember like they had to go through this, I think it was like Anime Jungle or some other shit that doesn't exist anymore, where it went through like Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
So basically, like I remember like my aunt like ordered me a few Ultraman toys that unfortunately never came from this place, but like was where I got them from. But I remember it was like, you know, only place I could find like, you know, the 6-inch Ultraman figures and Godzilla stuff. But it was like, god damn, this was the dark ages of that stuff. Like it was nuts. Like the place you had to go to, and also it was never a guaranteed list of anything you would have liked either.
Yeah.
It would have been it could have been maybe like it would be like Ultraman Zafi and like some obscure Ultraman Kaiju you've never heard of, like are available on this website. Like so, it's like whatever they have.
This is it.
Like,
yep.
I wanted to know.
Let's see. Any Power Ranger games you guys grew up playing?
Not. The only one I had played was like the one because I played the other ones like briefly, like the the beat 'em ups and stuff.
Yeah.
But the only one I actually owned was unfortunately the horrible N64 Lightspeed Rescue game.
Ooh, I've heard about that one.
It's as bad as it's you hear about. Yeah. Obviously, I was invested because I liked the show, but when I played it, I was like, this is not like what it looked like in the box art. Like it was one of those things where I basically just had to eat crow. I was like, I spent my child money on this.
Yeah.
Like, I earned this allowance to buy this fucking game. I'm playing it to the end. I beat it. It was one of the few first games that as a kid I beat in a sitting. I was like, this is weird.
For me, it's like I played the original game, the original Super Nintendo game, post high school. I remember finding it when I used to go to swap meets, building up a retro game collection. I bought that and the Fighting Edition, which is really cool because I love playing as the Megazords.
Well, the Fighting Edition needs more adversaries because you mostly fight your own teammates, which never made sense.
Yeah.
And also they took away the Ranger fights, so also bullshit. Yeah.
Anyways, and then what was it? The Battle for the Grid. I played that one. That was a lot of fun. Also needs more villains, but of course everyone wants to have their favorite Rangers in there, so I get that. That's always the difficulty of making a superhero fighting game, is that as much as it makes sense to put more villains in a superhero fighting game, everyone just wants to play as their favorite heroes, so you end up with more heroes than villains.
Au contraire, the Ultraman fighting games had a good balance.
That's good to hear. And then what else?
It was usually 2 or 3 monsters per respective Ultra.
Yeah, I never played.
For the most part.
I never played Dino Thunder on the GameCube, but I've always wanted to play it because I know you play as the Zords, but I hear that
actually,
it's not a good game.
No game has a weird kaiju aspect to it that was even advertised as such.
What?
There was a Bakugan Xbox 360 game where the whole thing was, instead of playing whatever the fucking game Bakugan is, those things became giant kaiju-sized monsters, and you would have like a kind of like a 3D arena to run around and smash the shit out of other people's monsters.
Oh.
Like, pull it up on here.
Yeah.
Cause remember the advertisement was like a guy like window washer, and then a giant dragon monster flies by and like throws another guy into the building.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, look at look, I think it's like that one.
Yeah, Champions. No, not that one. Vestrolia.
No.
Let's see, Battle Brawlers.
It's that one. Yeah, that one. The one where you literally, it's like that guy fighting.
Defenders of the Core.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, yeah,
you're literally like running around, like all the little. Here's the thing. I know nothing. I know fuck all about Bakugan.
Yeah.
But it was like $3, and I bought it. I was like, this is stupid and annoying. But like the gameplay parts, pretty fun. Not gonna lie. Just the being in the world of Bakugan was insufferable.
Yeah. If only if it was like Yu-Gi-Oh or something, and you can play as like the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
But it was cool. Like, yeah, pull up the other screen, because again, it was like a top-down 3D arena. Like,
yeah.
And you ran around again as this dragon, or sometimes this other like weird UFO monster, but like we just like smash other dudes in the buildings in the ground. It was like neat.
Yeah. It doesn't look like that. It looks interesting. And yeah, for those listening, that's Bakugan Defenders of the Core for PS3. Or yeah, no, sorry, for Wii and Nintendo DS. That's what it was.
No, it was for the Xbox 360.
No? Oh, maybe it's for some other consoles as well.
Hold on, I'll send the thing.
Okay. Anyways, let's see. David, any video games you remembered, kaiju games that you remembered playing at any point in time that we haven't brought up yet?
I played Super Godzilla a lot on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That game I get into the habit of playing. I've tried speedrunning it. It's fucking tough.
I can never get into it. I just always, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I supposed to do? I give up.
It's one of those games where like it definitely, if it had slight fan tweaks of certain things, it could have been like a little better.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's one or two RPG elements that could have had it.
Yeah. For me, I grew up playing the shit out of Rampage. I love Rampage World Tour and Universal Tour. And a little
Universal Tour was weird.
For me, Time Warp was weird because like you got these mini games.
I didn't know about that till later. When I saw it was definitely it's somehow worse. And that's the thing that was weird about Rampage. Mm-hmm. Each subsequent game somehow looked worse.
Yeah, it tried to go more grittier or darker, less cartoony. And yeah, it does end up looking uglier as a result. I did play
Rampage Unleashed or whatever the fuck.
Total Destruction.
Rampage Total Destruction is one of the most annoying games I've ever played in my life.
You're not wrong there.
I think here's why. This is the one, like the game is, again, I'll be 100% transparent. It's a Rampage game. It's not good. It's what you pay for.
Yeah.
You are a monster, you punch building. That's it. That's the gameplay.
Yeah.
It makes this to quote you whatever, a poopy bad thing.
It's a very repetitive game series.
Hold on, I gotta take a drink because I'm about to fucking go off on this one.
It's all good. I'll just talk about my experience with Rampage World Tour because this was one of the first games I got for the Wii. And I remember playing a lot out of it. I unlocked a lot of characters, though I would often use the cheat code. I never liked how it was trying to be 3D and 2D at the same time, where you can walk around this little, and I mean very little sandbox area.
It was very much it felt like you were in a light box.
Yeah, in a very small sandbox, and then like you're sort of like magnetized to the sides of these buildings, and it's very awkward whenever you're trying to jump on or off these buildings. It was never as smooth as the 2D ones.
So here's what was bad about it too. So, in most of the Rampage games, when you're running around smashing buildings, people will like scream and go, ah! You'll get like a thing.
Yeah.
So they had that in this game, but all of it was happening all at once.
Yeah, it's a cacophony.
So you would hear like one person go like, oh my goodness! At the same time, someone also at the same volume, like a cop doing like the fucking Commissioner Gordon or like the Irish cop, like oh, look at it, there's a monster up there. But like, at the same volume as the person screaming at the same time. And then there's also a soldier guy doing like a bad Arnold impression, be like, "Come on, come at me," like yelling like that.
And then you're eating someone
at the same time, and then you're eating someone who's also going. Ah!
No, he's like, "You can't eat me. I'm a lawyer."
So, but again, these are all happening at the same, not like during per action at once.
Yeah, it's like a cacophony.
And also on top of that, your monster's like burping and farting.
Yeah, randomly. So yeah, it's a lot of sound effects all happening at once, and I think it's trying to like jingle key. It's like the game is trying to jingle keys in front of you, trying to distract you from just how repetitive the gameplay is and how repetitive the music is.
But I was fine with that because I was there for that. But like the fact that I was like, "What the? Shut up!"
Yeah, and it's like the game tries to be funny, but then you end up hearing the same lines over and over and over again.
And that's what I mean. That's what it is. It's like you hear these lame, shit, poopy jokes the entire time.
Yeah. And what else? I mean, I was gonna say like all the characters play the same, but again, that's nothing new for Rampage. A lot of them.
I do like the variety of what they look like, at least.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they try to be resourceful, making like, say, the squid, the plant, the spider. They're all the same. The jellyfish, they're all the same skins for or they share the same roars and whatnot. But
it was cool seeing certain critters. Like I like seeing like there was like a giant turtle now this time. There was an alligator. Yeah. Like there were some cool like ones in there.
Yeah. There was a Cyclops that looks like the one from the Ray Harryhausen movie, the Sinbad movie.
There's Satan.
Yeah, there's Satan. There's a purple alien Cyclops that's somewhat similar.
There's a few characters. Vern's in the game in the Wii version.
Yes, they brought back Vern from the original World Tour.
I think this Jackalope guy, I think was in one of the weird obscure games. Is in it.
Let's see.
I think his name's literally like Jackie or something.
Oh yeah, Jack the Jack. They were so lazy with these names, like Shelby the turtle, Leo the lion.
Also because they're all people. Like the Rampage monsters are all people that got turned to monsters.
Yeah. Jill the jellyfish, Venus the flytrap,
which is small. Another mega rat.
Yeah.
What a missed opportune with the Rampage movie to not have the Rock become the giant gorilla.
Yes, yeah, but
that's what I thought was going to happen.
Remember, the Rock. You can't turn the Rock into a rampaging monster because that's not
anymore.
That's not part of his contract. You got to make him the good-looking hero at the end of the day.
Yeah, Snore, stop being movies. You suck.
We've smelled what you're cooking, and we don't like it.
And it's shit. It's shitty. That's what it is.
Or else the balance of the DC universe is going to change.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I will say this.
Famous last words.
I will say this. I hate when the Rampage movie was coming out. I hated the fact that so much of the merchandise that was related to the video games was based off of the original Rampage arcade game, which is slow as fuck, boring as hell. And just,
the OG Rampage, it's lame. It's like, not fun.
I respect it for being the first.
I can respect it what it is, but whew.
But the World Tour, the World Tour and Universal Tour, that's my Rampage, and I'm surprised
that I grew up with.
Yeah, there's not a single bit of merchandise focusing on that iteration of Rampage rather than the other, rather than like the original. And I hate the fact that
the movie didn't make any sense. Like it's like, why are they all fighting? They're supposed to be against humanity. Like we're the bad guys in this scenario. The monsters, like that's the whole point of Rampage. The monsters are not the bad guys technically.
Yeah, but
they're murdering people, but like
they want a generic creature feature, and they got a generic creature feature. So it is what it is. See, the other one I remembered was King of the Monsters 1 and 2. King of the Monsters 1, I remember I played a lot of that. I downloaded that on the Wii Virtual Console back in the day. And I remember it's frustrating to play at times because you're just mashing the buttons to not get pinned right away. But it was still a lot of fun, a lot of personality, love the music. And then King of the Monsters 2, I played a lot in arcades at the time. There were always these like Neo Geo arcade machines at like the roller rink or at like, say, Pizza Hut or whatever. And it would always be like Bust a Move, Metal Slug, and King of the Monsters 2. And that I remember playing a lot, and I wish there was a home console port of that game, because I remember there have been certain Neo Geo...
You can play that game.
Of the second one?
Yeah, there's the Neo Geo museum collection you can buy.
Okay. Because like the few Neo Geo collections I've seen, they would only contain the first game, not the second. And
yeah, second one is hard to find, but it is available.
Yeah, because like the old school home console versions on like Genesis and SNES, they would turn it into from a side-scrolling beat 'em up into a fighting game. And I remember
the Super Nintendo one is still side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I feel like that's a game series I feel like not a lot of people talk about. And honestly, it's like way better. I feel like it's definitely a better game series than Rampage is. Even though I am obviously more nostalgic for Rampage, King of the Monsters I feel is a really good hidden gem of a series.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Did any of you... I never played this game, but I feel like it would be right up my alley. But did any of you guys play any of the Earth Defense Force games?
Yeah, I played them a little bit. They're all the same games. So if you played one of them, you've literally played them all.
Yeah.
But those ones, it's hard because they always show like these cool kaiju, like Ultraman adjacent looking kaiju that are only featured once or twice, and the rest of it's just the same bugs each level.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I wish I had more to say about those ones, but the fact that they amount to fighting the same wave of giant ants kind of is a bummer, because like there's not a lot of giant kaiju you fight in that game, only maybe twice.
Okay. And what about you, Dave? Are there any other game series you remembered?
No, I'm just piggybacking off of all of your lists.
Okay, let's see. I guess like going into the indie side of things, because we have seen a decent amount of games coming out in the last couple of years. We've had Gigabash being the biggest success overall, I'd say. We've had Dawn of the Monsters, and for a short while we had Daikaiju Daikasen Versus, which was created by my friend Gorion, which had a bunch of indie characters like Draco Azul in there.
Who's that guy?
Here's pretty awesome.
You said that, not me.
Did you say Blue Dracula?
I said...
Also, you should check the chat.
I said El Dragon Blue.
Oh, it's Dragon. I thought it was Dracula this whole time.
Anyways, I really enjoyed both games, or a lot of the indie games that have come out, and I love the hell out of Dawn of the Monsters. That was the only game where I really went out of my way to S rank every stage of that game, save the last one, just because it was way too hard for me, and I only got A rank. Gigabash has been a lot of fun from what I've played. I feel like it needs to have like an arcade mode or like a story mode of some kind, outside of just vanilla fighting games. But I am very, very happy of the support it's gotten, given that it's been able to have both, to have like not just like Godzilla, but also DLC of Ultraman and Gamera, and even like Power Rangers adjacent or Power Rangers inspired characters, because of the legal issues actually licensing Power Rangers and or Super Sentai. Essentially, if they were to license Power Rangers, it would not be available outside the US. And if they licensed Super Sentai, it wouldn't be available in the US. And this is a studio in, where were they, in Hong Kong, I think?
With what?
Gigabash. Was it developed by... No, Malaysia. I believe they're in Malaysia.
I don't know.
But they definitely go for like an international audience. So doing Power Ranger inspired DLC characters was like a middle ground for them. So I definitely appreciate the time and effort they put into that game. And I want to say there have been more indie kaiju games as well. They seem like there's a new one popping up every so often. So it's really cool to see this sort of like era where anybody can build an indie kaiju game and just put it out on the market for people to see. So I think that's really cool. And let's see. With that said, anything else that you guys want to bring up?
I think I'm good. My voice is going. I mentioned in the chat.
All right, and the last thing I will say is
you have to unload your hate boner.
Okay.
Excuse
me while I whip this out.
So first and foremost,
yes.
Final thoughts on just Kaiju gaming. A lot of my gaming decisions and a lot of things that got me into certain consoles were always spurred upon by my need for a monster game in my life. So a lot of things I got console-wise were because I wanted to play one specific Kaiju game.
Yeah. I guess, like, for you, David, what would you say have been, like, your most favorite Kaiju games growing up after all these years? Or the ones that you would say have had, like, the biggest impact on... that have left the biggest impact on you?
Super Godzilla and the first two Atari Godzilla games.
Gotcha. For me, it's definitely the first two Godzilla Atari Pipeworks games, Rampage, World Tour, and Universal Tour. Let's see.
You're saying our whole list.
War of the Monsters. I'll leave it at that. And Daikaiju Daikason Versus, because of my contributions to that game. And I'm as much as it sucks that game is no longer available. I'm really glad that it happened in the first place. But I will say the funniest train wreck of all time is easily what happened to Colossal Kaiju Combat. I'll just give a very brief synopsis here. It was made by Simon Strange in the hopes of just being like a spiritual successor to the Pipeworks trilogy, and they asked for $300,000, and it completely fell apart. Primarily because
it's also in the worst time to be asking for money.
Well, it was in, I want to say 2012 was when, 2012, 2013, and it ultimately fell apart because essentially Simon Strange wanted to build a game that was cost way more to make than $300,000, but his solution was, I'll have my friends do it for free. And then when they were no longer available, either because they had other things to do that actually paid them, or in the case of one of their developers passed away, he was left with no money because he spent it all on other shit that had nothing to do with development. And he continuously makes excuse after excuse after excuse over why Colossal Kaiju Combat never became a thing, and proceeds to just sort of ignore that the whole thing ever happened to begin with. And even to this very day, as this game is coming out, the big question on me and several of my friends' mind is Simon attached to this remaster? And as far as we can tell, it's not using the Spigot engine, which Simon loved to parade around back in the day. Rather, it's using Unreal Engine 5. And from what we've seen, Simon has no part of the marketing for this game. You don't see him in any of the interviews. You don't see him in any promotional stuff for it. So I'm going to go on a limb and say more than likely while he still works at Pipeworks, if he is working on this game, it looks like Pipeworks is doing the smart thing and not letting him be the face of this game like he was with Godzilla Unleashed. And for the record, while
kangaroo furry attitude,
and while he was attached to all three of he did work on all three Godzilla games. He didn't really contribute a lot to the first two, but with the third one, he was pretty much in charge. And we saw how that turned out. So I would say,
oh no,
keep him the fuck away from this remaster. It'll do this game a service. And also,
you're on watch. You're on notice.
Yes, he's a bullshit artist. I say again, bullshit artist.
If you want Andres' address, just message me. I'll give it to you.
And I haven't forgotten what he did to
because this summer in an octagon, Andres Perez versus Simon Strange.
You're going nowhere, Strange. I got you
5 minutes of
tres minutos of playtime.
Playtime, baby. Let's end the stream before my fucking voice gets out. That voice is starting to become my real voice.
Yeah. All right. So.
Nap into it.
Cream of the crop. All right. So. Where can people find you, David?
Tommy.
We're done. I thought this was going to last for another 4 hours. I wanted to hear Andres unload.
Well,
we don't got that kind of time.
Anyways, we can say that for after the show. Anyways, where can people find you? Pimp your shit out, David.
They know where to find me.
Good.
Find me on YouTube. They're Gorizard.
Where they can find what?
Stuff.
Anyways, where can people find you, Frank?
Oh, sure. They can find me at my Instagram. It's 8armspidey. That's the number 8, ARMEDSPIDEY.
Excellent. And you can find me over on Facebook at Primal Warrior Draco Azul. Find me on Instagram and here on YouTube at Kaiju Noir. You can find me over at Blue Sky at Kaiju Noir Productions, and you can find me on Twitter at PW_Draco Azul. And also you can find me in a few weeks over at G-Fest over in Chicago, where I will be selling physical copies of Primal Warrior Draco Azul Gaiden Hellfire, along with issues 1, 2, 3 of Draco Azul, along with its accompanying novels, spin-off novels. So look forward to all of that, as well as a statuette that me and Creature Preacher are currently working on, where it's an all-new, really cool, radically different take on Draco Azul done in Creature Preacher's own art style. So look forward to look forward to all of that and more in the coming weeks. So until next time, I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
I have been Gorizard.
I've been 8armspidey.
And until next time, everybody, take care.
Stick to the local brew.
That's local brew.
Fucking spider.
Get the hell off my property!
Bye, everybody.